Shit, damn it, wait, no, shit, damn it, no, oh, fuck, damn it, shit, fuck, damn it, wait, hang on, shit, damn it, hang on, wait, no, wait, no, my drama, my ambiance, my drama, my ambiance, we're so back. Alright, I give up. Hello! And welcome to week 2 of the Winter CPU Classic. I'm your commissioner, Willie O'Billy. And welcome to the second week of action. I'm here with my co-commentator, Silva Lily. Silva Lily, how are you doing today?
Doing all right, Willie. How are you?
I'm excited to see the second round of action play out. We've got a great lineup today. Let's go over the 5 teams and where they sit in the standings as of right now. Going down our list, first team, the only team to come out of week 1 2-0, was the Eggs. What's your opinion on the Eggs this week, Silva Lily?
They're definitely seeming like the team to beat. You know, if you do a little bit of a power scaling here, the Eggs have beaten both the Monarchs and the I have forgotten the Muscle, right? Those were the 2 teams that they faced last week.
Yes.
And then the Monarchs would then go on to beat the Wilds. The Wilds and the Muscle are the other 2 1-1 teams. So if you use the transitive property, as is common to power scaling, that would imply the Eggs are capable of beating the Wilds. Now, I personally think it could go either way, but they definitely, not only are the only 2-0 team, they had pretty dominating wins both times, and in fact, they beat the Monarchs twice, once during the exhibition match. So they have a very good record coming into this week. And we're going to see if any of the teams have made adjustments or just have the right plays to get past those Eggs' defense.
Second up on the list here, in second place by run differential, as the only other 1-1 team with a plus 13 run diff, that would be the DK Wilds. Now I'll take this team. I think that this team is far and away probably one of the biggest powerhouses of the league. With that Kong family core that they've got, there's a lot of very easy synergy to make between their players. A pickup since last week to add a little bit more firepower to their batch was Blue Pianta, but with one of the best pitchers in the league still in Toadsworth, it'll be interesting to see if their bats can really hit just as hard as last time. As a reminder, last week the Wilds they went wild. First game of the week, their first game, they won with, 19 runs. The second game, they went 18 runs. In terms of just pure scoring power, I'm double checking right now. Yeah, in terms of pure number of runs scored, the Wilds were far and away the heaviest hitters of last week. Now, they have a matchup this week against the Eggs, who are known as a defensive powerhouse, so we'll see if the Eggs can cool those bats. But if the Wilds can keep up that offensive pressure, I think they've got a solid case of making it to the finals. Following our list down a little bit, next up, we've got the Muscles, who are 1-1 with 11 differential of plus 6. Silva Lily, what is your opinion on the Muscles right now?
I think it's going to be pretty hard to gauge the Muscles. Their captain, Wario, had a pretty rough week last week, was one of the worst performing captains out of the entire league. And their one win was against the Flowers, the team the Wilds won against, they went 0-2. It was a really bad week for them. So it's hard to judge their power when the only other team they've played against is the best in the league. They've played against the worst, they won. They played against the best, they lost. They've got a solid run differential, but a poor performing captain. I don't think I can judge them yet, Willie. I don't think we've seen enough from them yet.
Now, moving our way one more down the list, the last 1-1 team with a run differential of -4, we have Peach's Monarchs. Now, the Monarchs have probably the strongest case, besides the Wilds, of being the hardest hitting team just in terms of batting power. They've got Bowser. They've got PD Piranha. They've got a couple Hammer Bros on the team. They have a lot of players who can individually come up to bat and just knock it straight out of the park. Now, they're 1-1, and they are, by run differential, the lowest ranked 1-1 team. But they played last week against the defensive Eggs, so it's possible that the Eggs held them back just a little bit. When they went up against the Wilds, who we already covered, who are a offensive powerhouse, they managed to win on scoring just barely in probably the best match that we saw last week of that amazing 19-18 scoreline, winning just barely in the bottom of the last inning. That brings us to our last team for the night. Now, the Flowers are the only team to come out of the last week 0-2. They've had a shakeup to their field and rearranging and trying to get some of that synergy back. Sylvie, what do you feel about the Flowers coming into this week?
Well, that's an interesting question, Willie. Obviously, they had a really rough time last week, but as you said, they were up against some pretty big offensive powerhouses. The Monarchs, who were able to outscore the Wilds, and the Wilds, who had one of the best run differentials in the league. They were having some rough positioning in their first two games. They didn't quite have the chemistry that you usually need in the outfield. A couple players might have been out of place. So this shakeup could do a lot for their defense, and that might see them getting the game a little back under control, making those 5 runs they're able to score a game count. But really, they're just in such a rough spot. You know, worst defense in the league, some of the worst offense in the league. They really need to make something happen here, and I don't know if just a small field shakeup's gonna make it count.
All right. Well, looking at tonight's schedule, today we have 5 games to get through, and we're going to start with seeing if indeed the Flowers can back up against their last week's performance. We have the Monarchs versus the Flowers at Mario Stadium for Game 1 tonight. And I believe, due to some pre-planning from the commissioner, that all we have to do is verify that the players are ready to go and we can get this game rolling. Let's see. Double checking that the players are all set and that there's no issues. We don't want anything like, for instance, the batting order being lost on the way to the plate. Let's see. Everything's looking good to me on the Monarch side. Monarchs look all set up here. Meanwhile, on the Flowers side, we're getting verification. For the record, Red Koopa and Normal Koopa being on the same team has thrown me off so much. It was so much trouble to find out. Oh, and the Flowers also have a little bit of a shake up to the outfield, as Koopa the Quick and Drybones will be picking up the outfield to give them that synergy. We'll see what impact that has on them. But other than that,
it could matter a lot. In both of the games they lost last week, there were a number of runs that went over the wall. Maybe a star gem with some chemistry would have helped them out. That could stop some of the bleeding they were suffering.
As soon as I figure out whatever happened to my eye, yes, there we go. All right.
Player to watch on this team is definitely Darkbones, one of the better batters in the league right now. Definitely the best batter on the Flowers. Doesn't necessarily stack up to your K Rules or your Hammer Bros, but does his job, does it decently for the team he's on. If the Flowers are going to do well, they're going to need him to continue showing up and being a consistent player.
All right. Game 1 of Week 2. The Flowers versus the Monarchs on Mario Stadium. We're getting verification, and hopefully, as long as there isn't a player protest, we should be good to go. Monarchs versus the Flowers. Who will we see first up at the plate? It looks like the Monarchs are going to start off our batting tonight. Best of luck to them. Why does Magic Koopa look so bald? I'm sorry, that's so mean for me to say. We do not have a protest. We are good to go on this game. pt2 immediately starting us off with the Sacrifice Fly.
Sacrifice doesn't do much when there's not a player to move up the bases.
Of course.
Uh-oh.
I am very excited to see this shell core of the Flowers move to the outfield. Wiggler, a slow player, attempting a steal on second base, and he manages to get there safely.
Second base, one of the easiest to steal off a pitch. It's the catcher has to throw the furthest in order to get them out. That's going to put runners on the corners after a successful steal and a nice single by Bowser, bringing up Red Firebro. Now, Red Firebro is one of the best batters in the league right now, topped only by the Brown and Red Critters across all 2 games from last week.
And yet, we talked about last week with that awesome shortstop play that so many teams have had. A quick hit, caught by the shortstop, to first for a double play on Bowser. Those power hitters, they can get on base, but a little bit easier to get out on the double play, and it results with the Flowers keeping the Monarchs scoreless in the first inning. They'll come to the plate and see if Dry Bones can do anything.
Flowers have to be happy about that first inning. Though this... Ignore that.
I also thought that was going to be a catch by Mario.
Base hit from Dry Bones.
I'm very excited to see the Shell Core do their stuff. They get stomped on in the opinion polls, of course. But we'll see if it's their turn to do some stomping. Not quite, with Peach recording the first strikeout of the second week.
And the fourth strikeout of the entire tournament, Willie. This has been a very bad tournament for pitchers in general if they like to pitch for strikes. Very strong batting lead. Though I don't think we've seen a single pitcher pitch a walk.
We have seen a rare fumble from Wiggler on second base, which puts Bowser Jr. up to the plate with a chance to score the first run of Week 2. Straight up the middle, that will load the bases. And we have an amazing possibility from the Flowers to make something happen. Magic Koopa, not known as a batter, perhaps hoping just to make sure the inning doesn't end here.
If you can get a single base hit here, I think you're happy. Any score to begin the game, but that won't be what you're getting.
Now, that was in terms of pure number of batters from the Flowers. I think the first half of the batting order, so we'll see if they can make anything happen in the second. Before we get to that, though, the Monarchs have their turn at the plate. It's high out to right field. There is chemistry, but it just barely goes foul. A second hit.
Another powerful hit from the Hammer Bro. This one's going to stop just outside of the wall, or just inside of the wall, for a solid single.
Peach got some power behind her arm, but not a lot of power behind her bat. Still good aim. Will get her safe on base. That's two good base hits.
This is starting to be a disaster scenario for the Flowers. 2 on base and no outs.
We saw the Flowers escape with a nice double play last inning, but that was off of slow batters not able to get back to the plate before danger happened. Another good hit up the middle, and we have bases loaded with no outs. And then
assume the Monarchs are going to get at least one run this inning.
We'll see if the powerhouse Blue Noki manages to do anything. But no, instead, a double play in exchange for 1 run. That'll open up the scoring. It should be reasonable for the Flowers to get out of here off of Red Yoshi, and they will manage to do that.
An impressive throw from shortstop over to first. Some excellent fielding by the Flowers to get themselves out of a really tough situation. I think if you're them, you're happy that they only got 1 run off of bases loaded with no outs.
Neither of these teams known as offensive powerhouses either, though. I'm curious, when we come to the end of this, if, oh, I'm sorry, was it the Flowers who beat the Wilds last week?
No, it was the Monarchs that beat the Wilds. Oh.
Monarchs who beat the Wilds, yes, okay. So, we'll have to see.
When you tab out to check, your legitimate hardware is showing.
Sorry?
When you tab out to check, your legitimate hardware starts showing.
Whoopsie daisy, I wasn't tabbing out, I promise. I'm just a little bit dumb. Clean double play, though.
Ooh. Very quick inning from the Monarchs and the Flowers there.
The Monarchs...
Was that a 3-batter inning?
Something close to it, at least on that double play. We'll see, as the Monarchs are at a very dangerous part of their batting order. If Magic Koopa gets pulled. Yes, we are seeing the first substitution of the game. And Bowser Jr. steps to the plate.
Now, Bowser Jr. has performed pretty decently for the Flowers relative to their entire performance. Not a bad pitcher by any means.
But will he be able to deliver as his loyal troops watch from the outfield? A quick, weak hit from Wiggler, not what we expect, results in another double play, and Bowser Jr. must be feeling pretty good as he faces off against his dad.
Good recovery by Bowser Jr. there to quickly get that ball up to second.
What a catch from Toadette! Straight over her head, 3 body heights above her, but a good jump. And the Flowers keep the Monarchs scoreless in that inning at least. It's still only a 1-run game, and a high hit from Dry Bones.
Chemistry
just
doesn't allow them
escapes
to make
it.
the catch. Dry Bones hitting a home run to tie up the game.
Oh, he must have been a firebro in his past life because that bat ran hot. Oh, he's gonna... Now, Red Koopa knows he has a lot to look forward to in his next life, but isn't gonna get much in this one, as a quick grounder to Wiggler results in an out. Do you think that the shell core of the Flowers enjoys a good beer after these games?
I think it goes right through him, Willie.
Well, we'll get to the end of them in just a second as Koopa will see if he can keep this inning from at least ending. With a good hit up the middle, he'll get on base. And Bowser Jr. saving his team on the pitching mound at the top of the third. We'll see if he can get anything at the plate. A star hit from him. I don't actually know what this does. It looks like it's going foul, though.
It's going foul, Willie, is what it's doing.
Yeah. A good charge hit, but it'll go straight to Wiggler for an easy out to end the inning. Again, a low-scoring game. Now, a tie game at 1-1 leaves the Flowers doing the best they've done out of any game so far this run in a very early windup from Firebro results in a foul. Good contact on the second hit. Might go foul again. That's foul.
Seeing a lot of fouls this game.
Just keeping...
I think that's our 4th one so far. Hammer Bro's got some batting, but he doesn't have much speed. Or that was the Red Fire Bro, excuse me.
There's a poor...
This is Hammer Bro.
There's a poor Mario just over there in the right field that's just trying to get through 1-1, and all these Hammer Bros and Fire Bros are just trying to hit him.
That's another foul. Ooh, a good jump from Dark Bones in order to get the out there.
Curious to see if Peach can even make anything happen. She'll watch one fly over the plate, maybe a little bit distracted by Mario on the next run. Results in a quick, easy catch from Red Koopa. And another nothing inning. We're still tied at 1-1 as we head into the bottom of the fourth. Can Magic Koopa, of all players, get this inning started for the Flowers?
Gotta wonder if Peach was thrown off her game there a bit. Saw her backing away from the plate repeatedly. Has some history, to my understanding, with that particular pitcher for the Flowers.
Well, it's not stopping her on the mound as she secures a double play to clean up the bases. Luigi up here to see if anything can happen. He's scared of pitch 1, not scared of pitch 2, but it does result in a quick out from Wiggler. Now, do you think that the stress from last game... Last week, the Flowers really had a lot of trouble. It looks like their captain, Daisy, was able to rally them. Or do you think that Bowser Jr., with his position on the mound, is stepping up as co-captain to really get this team together? Which captain do you think has a bigger impact on the psychology of these players?
It's hard to say for certain. Daisy is the one that the team is named after. They are Daisy's Flowers, not Bowser Jr.'s Flowers. And is the one with some synergy in the team, but the shell core that you like to talk about, that we like to talk about here on the cast, is actually a little bit more loyal to Bowser Jr. So it could be that he's the one stepping up right now and really trying to get a better performance out of them. We saw them shuffled out to the outfield. That could have been his call, saying, put them there, I know what synergy they have. They can make this defense work, and it's working. It's definitely working better than before.
This will be a hard challenge to their ability to keep this score low, though, with PD Piranha knocking a high ball up. Drybone's not even running in the right direction.
The problem with the shell core, they don't have the speed to make it to far hits like that.
I think that Bowser Jr.
Home run.
I think that Bowser Jr. coming out of left field into the pitching, Magic Koopa just could not make it over to Koopa the Quick in time. 2-run homer will give the Monarchs not a big lead. It's only 2 runs. But we'll see if Bowser Jr. can escape this inning without any more damage. Not a lot of pressure on him with the bases empty, but any hit on base has got to add to that little niggling bit of doubt in the back of his head.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And it's actually an interesting call that the Flowers have been so quick to put Bowser Jr. on the mound in a lot of these games. Rumors are in the league, and some of what numbers we've seen in the past, Daisy's actually the better pitcher. So whatever it is that's bringing Bowser Jr. in, it's causing some havoc for their outfield. Gotta wonder if maybe they just should have sent in Daisy.
Well, we'll get another opportunity here. It's just a strong hit straight out. And once again, the Monarchs lighting up the scoreboard.
That's I wonder if maybe we spoke too soon about the defensive improvements. This is starting to look a little similar to that Wilds Flowers game from last week.
After letting up 2 home runs, Bowser Jr. will step off the mound to allow Luigi up to bat. That should put Bowser Jr., if I remember correctly, behind the plate right now. And Luigi will... Pitcher's blessing, almost. Fresh pitcher comes onto the plate, gets a nice quick out to escape the inning. This is where the Flowers really have to show themselves. They need to score runs. I know you need to score in order to win the game. But down 6-1 at the bottom of the 5th, someone on this roster has to start putting up numbers. Daisy will attempt it with a shot out to the middle. And no attempt from Blue Noki.
That's a first pitch home run, I believe.
That is a statement from the Flowers captain saying we're not out of this yet. Let's hope that the politics of her and Bowser Jr. come together to let the Flowers really knock this out. Now, if they can just wear down Peach, if they can just get past this, then later in the game, they should be able to open up this defense. But Dry Bones doesn't want to wait until later, as a nice clean hit up the middle nets him a single.
Small ball is probably the name of the game for these Flowers. They don't have a lot of sluggers, but they do have the ability to get on base.
If they're not interfered with, it has to be pointed out that that should have been a nice clean runner on second, but an early thrown power block results in it out at the base. Now they're recovering. All of these Koopas managing to knock it cleanly up the middle against Peach. Another clean hit up the middle.
And that's that shell core. You got a Koopa on third, Dark Bones on second, and a Koopa on first. Star hit from Bowser Jr., but it's got so much coverage.
That paintball, though.
Let's 2 come in, 2 stay on.
You gotta watch out for that. The goop off the bat, we never called it illegal. We can't take it away from him now. That would be rude. Stuns the outfielders and lets 2 shell players come in. Both Bowser Jr. and Daisy making statement pieces as star players, as Peach is finally taken off the mound and Bowser from the catcher position is put up. Now, since Bowser was a catcher, there won't be any interference to chemistry. And pitcher's blessing results in a good double play to end the inning for the Flowers.
That's down to being a 2-run game, and that's where the Flowers really want to keep it this inning. They've been able to score about 5 runs a game, but they have the worst run differential in the league because the teams that beat them tend to beat them with 10 to 20 points.
Well, Luigi will have to make it through his brother to make it to a nice, weak back end of this lineup. A pop fly, though, and again, straight up the middle for another 2-run homer. Here on Mario Stadium, those back walls are just a little bit closer. It's a very standardized field, and unfortunately, Magic Koopa, being the player in the back, who has to make it up to that center field, just a little bit slow, just a little bit odd call from the coaches to put that pitcher in left field now. A blessing to Luigi on the mound, though, as Blue Noki knocks it right to second base for an easy out. We're glad to see improvement from the Flowers.
They're definitely more competitive tonight than they were in the past.
It's still very possible, with a little bit of cleanup, that the Flowers could play spoilers to the Monarchs' attempt at this championship. But every run just means more and more work. A good pow block will get this.
That pow block's going to make sure Petey Piranha makes it to first.
Probably a single anyway, if we're being... I just noticed Petey's tongue in the background of this shot. Gotta hope that doesn't distract Wiggler at the bat. Seems like it, as a nice catch ends the inning. Now,
fairly high hit game, 15 hits for the Monarchs, 12 hits for the Flowers.
Now,
Monarchs have just been that much better at getting their players back off of base after and back home.
An amazing catch by Firebro at shortstop. Gotta be one of the best shortstops in the league, if not the best one. as he'll deny 2 hits up the middle to really cool off the Flowers' bats. Daisy, someone has to get this Bowser tired. We've seen Bowser retire early when the offense starts scoring points on him, and a good hit to the back wall will get Daisy on base at least, as the Shell Core marches to the plate.
Now, Drybones didn't have the best performance last week, but he's definitely determined to show up today. Bomb's going to be a little late to actually impact Mario. It's not going to matter too much. Runners on first and second. Still 2 outs. Bowser's determined to make it a third. Very early swing from the Red Koopa.
Closing his eyes on the windup, but he still makes good contact. Blue Noki makes it, though, and that is 3
what
outs.
A scoop! Barely snags it before it hits the ground to get the out, prevent anybody from furthering themselves on the bases, get them out of the inning. Very good fielding by the Noki.
Bowser, though, even though he's got those solid hits, will ground out to shortstop. Solid pitches will ground out to shortstop, excuse me. Survival, name of the game for the Flowers right now. They just need to wear down Bowser, and then the hope should be to blast through the remnants of the Monarchs defense, but they need to make it to that point in the game while staying in contention. 4 runs is a serious amount of deficit to make up, and a solid shot out to the center will make it 5. Even if Magic Koopa was in the left field, that still would have been a homer. I honestly think that the Bros are underappreciated hitters in this league. Hammer Bro, Boomerang Bro, Fire Bro, all amazing shortstop players, and all of their bats can come alive.
Had some excellent performances. Hammer Bro actually didn't even play in the first game of the last week, and then showed up the second game and put in the best single game batting performance we've seen so far.
Now, it needs to be said, Peach steals, well, steal is an actual term, but manages to yoink second base off of good item usage, and a single from Mario will bring her home. This is not the survival that we need from the Flowers.
Really unfortunate watching that Peach double happen to the Flowers, because it looked like Darkbones was in position to catch it. The bananas had gone completely around him. All he had to do was stand still, and then he teleported over to one of the corners and fell on his ass. You gotta wonder if that was an intentional choice, or maybe he sneezed. I don't know if skeletons do sneeze, but it meant that they ended up falling just that little bit further behind, and suddenly this game's looking just that little bit more impossible to win.
Drybones had to clear the cobwebs out of him, and the Flowers in general need to get the cobwebs off their bats, as 2 quick hits to shortstops, 2 outs. Again, Bowser Jr. up to plate against his dad. Someone needs to get Bowser tired so that their bats can come alive, but 2 quick strikes. There won't be a third, but there will be a good power block. Bowser Jr. trying to make it to second, trying to make something happen, and he'll get there. Magic
Bowser
Koopa.
Jr., a decently fast player. We're going to be seeing his speed here. He's going to be running home. Magic Koopa making a play for second. Yoshi's firing a laser straight out to second. Doesn't make it in time. Magic Koopa actually made it safe. That's what the Flowers need. 2 outs don't always matter.
That was a unfortunate misplay from the Monarchs. Mario going for a buddy slide if 2 players have chemistry. Then one of them could slide into the ball, which enables that laser fast hit back to the bases. Unfortunately, Mario missed, which let Magic Koopa get on second safely. It only results in 1 run, as the next batter, I'm sorry, I missed who it was. Toadette, right?
That was Toadette. And as usual, the shortstop cleaning up for the outfield's mess.
Solid hit from Lady Yoshi will get him on base. as we return to the top of the Monarchs batting order with PD Piranha. Now, PD has not made much happen tonight. Powerful, I was going to say powerful bat, but they don't have a bat. Another 2 on Homer would definitely overly stifle any chance of comeback, but instead, a play from the Boo will result in a double, with Yoshi on third now. The Flowers need to tighten up. A hit from Wiggler, though, will go right out to right field and bring Yoshi home safely on a single as the Luigi starts to tire.
Wonder who we'll be seeing next for the Flowers.
An amazing...
They do make the out here, which is excellent. That's going to prevent Wiggler from coming home. They still score a run off of PD Piranha on third base. But it could have been 3 runs if that catch hadn't been made. Now we finally see Daisy come up to the plate. Considered to be one of the best pitchers that the Flowers have, they've been saving her for last.
But sadly,
opposite of a pitcher's blessing.
Yeah, that pitcher's blessing doesn't strike for her. As the closer comes up and immediately first pitch gets knocked out for a 2-run home run. Unfortunately, it's hard to say here, but it does feel like if Bowser Jr. just wasn't subbed in on pitching and was out there in the outfield, there'd be a lot less case for the Monarchs here. This would be a much closer game, but unfortunately, that decision, resulting in a weak left field, is making defense for the Flowers just that more difficult again.
And the Monarchs have been very good at abusing it. Their hitters love to hit out to the left field. Love it, love it, love it. Left and then straight back in the center.
And then foul in the right field, but never mind that.
Definitely have been seeming to do that a lot tonight.
This looks... We're entering the end of the ball game here, as Luigi knocks it to second base. 9-run deficit for the Flowers at the bottom of the 8th inning. And Bowser managing to stay fresh on the mound. Nobody cooling his pitches today.
Yeah, the pitching really tells the story of the game. We're on the Monarchs' second pitcher, and the Flowers' 4th.
3 up, 3 out in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Flowers. The Monarchs have a good chance here to... Well, this lead is already almost unsurmountable, with the Monarchs needing to score more next inning, or at the bottom of this inning, than total they've scored in any game in order to make a comeback here. First job, though. Get out of the 9th inning alive and with no more points on the board. They do a good job knocking out Mario easy. Blue Noki pops it to left field, but will make it safe to first base.
Here comes Red Yoshi up to the plate, hit down the center. Dark Bones misses the slide. Noki's gonna stay at second.
And the dangerous power hitters again.
Speaking of, an immediate hit by PD Piranha, though caught by the Dry Bones. Noki stays at second, but it will be 2 outs with Wiggler up on base.
They need Wiggler out. They need an out on this play before Bowser comes up, but instead, a single loads the bases as that slugger bat from Bowser comes to the plate.
Your Daisy here, you might want to be using some star power. Flowers have it all completely built up, but they don't use it. Very strong hit from Bowser. That's 1 run. That's 2 runs off the foul block and runners on the corners with 2 outs. Daisy's already getting tired. This is going to be their 5th pitcher of the game. It's Koopa. That's another key position from the outfield. Now Daisy's out there, and there's no synergy out there. You got to hope they can get this last out before anyone hits anything, because otherwise they're going to fall apart.
Before anyone hits any what? Fireball knocks out to right field again.
Goes foul, and you think the Flowers have to be thankful for that one. Lucky gust of wind sending it back.
But a solid hit up the middle. Knocks Wiggler in for another point. Hammer Bro. We've talked about the danger that they bring. Len on first and second. Pops it high up to right field. Again,
And
foul.
another foul. I think there's a strong easterly tonight.
But again, right field. This
Westerly.
one's fair.
I don't remember how wins are named. This one's fair. That's a 3-run home run. This is suddenly looking like a very familiar game to the Flowers. 5-20, 5-19, 5-19. That's how they've lost every single game. They score a comfortable 5 runs and give up 4 times that. 5-20.
Well, should the Flowers come back to us in the first season of whatever we name this league, they'll have a lot of improvements to make. They'll need to bring some batters to the board who can score. This is not even the last game of this tournament, though. As the Monarchs...
Go ahead, Billy.
Oh, I was just going to say, the Monarchs just looking to close out this game. They have a very comfortable lead.
Keeping Bowser on the plate. Gotta assume they're keeping some of their other pitching arms fresh for later games in the series. Easy out on the red Koopa. The Flowers, the Flowers, with 1 out, have to score as many runs in this 1 inning as they have in all other innings they've played up to this point.
And with 2 outs, doesn't look like it's going to happen here. Koopa, last leg for the team, will knock it straight to shortstop for a poetic end to the game. The Monarchs...
They put up an earlier fight, but the Flowers just don't seem to have what it takes, Willie. Sorry to interrupt. Please go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, fair play. The Monarchs, on the other hand, making a statement for why they should be in the finals of this tournament.
I have to think that the Wilds are maybe a bit worried here. Their strong win over the Flowers was their crowning achievement of the last game. They kept it close with the Monarchs, but did ultimately fall to them. And now every other team that's played the Flowers, well, they've had a stronger win over them.
A well-deserved MVP from the Firebros.
Now, don't forget the box score.
Yeah. Get this. Well, we'll see if the Flowers can score a win in their last game later tonight, and the Monarchs have to be happy as they become the first team to get a 2-1 record. But we'll see if it's good enough right now, as in the meantime, we've got the league leaders, the Eggs, playing their first game tonight against the Wilds in DK Jungle. Let's go to that game.
Now, I think this is, the 3rd game from the Eggs in the jungle?
There were scheduling issues that led to every team getting to have fun except for the Eggs. What do you think about these two teams as we set up and we make sure that everyone's ready to play?
I think it's really going to come down to the power of the Eggs defense this game, Willie. Because the Wilds have that same offense, but that the Monarchs do. They have such a strong offense, but the Monarchs were beaten fairly handily by the Eggs off of the power of the Eggs defense, and the Eggs offense is nothing to scoff at either. They've got the K-Rule core in the center there, with the brown critter, K-Rule, and then the blue critter. Very powerful batters, all 3 of them, who can do some real damage, and the Wilds are a bit weaker on the defensive side.
Now, we've seen the Wilds bats absolutely destroy some teams, though. This is why the Wilds had the best run differential of the 1-1 teams coming into this week. that gives them a little bit of a cushion, which should bring some relief, because even though the Monarchs won that last game, it actually only brings them up, if I check the scores here actually, the Monarchs had a run differential of -4. The Wilds had a run differential of +13. So even though the Monarchs won that game 20-5, that still only brings the run differential up to +11. So if the Wilds can win this game against the Eggs, they will remain in second place. So it's an incredibly important game to them. Incredibly important game to the Eggs too, who by no means want to fall out of that top slot. Last moment preparation going in. This batting order looks correct, right?
Give me just a second to check, Willie.
Baby Tiny DK.
Batting order: Donkey Kong, Funky Kong, Purple Toad, Blue Pianta, Toadsworth, Dixie, Baby DK, Tiny Kong, Diddy Kong. That is in the right order.
Everything looks set up to me. It looks like both teams are ready to play, and we are ready for this game on nighttime DK Stadium as the Eggs fight the Wilds in a possible battle for first place in this league. Let's start the game.
All right. Now, players to watch for this game, you want to be looking at King K. Rool and the Brown Critter for the bats of the Yoshi Eggs, and then Baby Daisy, Blue Critter, and Pink Yoshi for their defense. Very strong defensive players on the Eggs. And then from the side of the Wilds, DK, Funky Kong, and Blue Pianta are by far their best batters. Defensive performance, you need to be watching Funky Kong and Dixie Kong. We've got an immediate strong hit by DK, but that super jump from the Pink Yoshi and Baby Daisy will get the out anyway.
Quite a strong statement about how this game we might expect it to go. Powerful hits from the Wilds. Great defense and speed in the outfield from the Eggs. We'll see who gets worn down first, as Yoshi just misses the ball. Good job, buddy.
These are those offensive players I was telling you to watch for on the Wilds. DK got out, but it was a very close thing. It was almost a home run. Funky Kong's already on base, now in second. Purple Toad stepping up with a 2-run home run. We don't see that from him often. The Wilds are saying to the Eggs and the Monarchs that they want to be in this championship, and they're going to prove they belong there. Blue Pianta stepping up, looking a little green in this light. Hope he's feeling okay.
Another deep shot out to center. Birdo, what are you doing on the mound? As another home run for the Wilds has got to have them feeling great in this game. What a start. What a statement.
4 batters up, 3 batters in. Just 1 out. Toadsworth coming up. We're hitting the weaker part of their lineup. Birdo probably hoping just to get through the next 2 batters and call that good. Toadsworth and wow, I've forgotten who was up next. Dixie Kong. That's a strikeout, rare to see in this league. Birdo's happy about that one. Can't blame her, but she did just bully an old man.
Why the hell do I have Birdo starting on the mound? I just realized she's like one of the worst pitchers on my team. Breaking character, I know, I'm sorry, but I just realized how bad. How did I not notice this?
Dixie Kong with a good single out to left field. Baby DK coming up, but there's Baby Daisy on that shortstop position, making the dive for the catch, and that'll get the Eggs out of this inning.
Not a great start, as the Eggs realize that maybe Birdo should really not be the starting pitcher. And they're kind of amazed that they've made that mistake for that long. But now Toadsworth, that slow ball, so dangerous.
And this is what you're looking for from Toadsworth's pitching. doesn't get a lot of strikes, but usually when you hit the ball off a Toadsworth, it's going somewhere you don't want it to. In this case, right up center field, right into the glove of Dixie Kong. You gotta pick your hits carefully, let him pitch around a little bit. He found a couple of balls, one to the outside, one to the inside, one to the outside. Don't think he's happy about this pitch count. Here's the 3-0, a hit from Birdo, and a jump grab by DK over at first base to get the out.
DK is happy about that one.
Now we're starting to hit the very dangerous batting core of the eggs, starting with the brown critter.
Toadsworth playing
check
mind
my
games
notes here, but the brown critter did receive one of the MVPs from last week. Doesn't help him at plate in this inning, though.
No. One might even say that the eggs are praying to God that Birdo tires out quick so they can get an actual pitcher up on the mound.
Tiny Kong up at bat. Actually has some pretty good batting stats, but is going to get out here. Doesn't have the legs quite to make it to first off a relatively soft hit.
Birdo is going to need an out from Diddy here, because if she doesn't manage it, she's going to have a runner on first as that powerful hitter DK comes up to the plate. Instead,
Diddy struck out looking.
Okay, maybe I should talk less shit about Birdo.
This is the worst pitcher on the eggs. I wonder who the best is and how they look. Birdo's definitely spending the star power in order to make these pitches count, and they are counting. Gets 3 up, 3 down.
Get out someone trying very enthusiastically to get a nice snack out to Baby Mario in the left field as that inning comes to an end. Sorry, as that top of the inning comes to an end. K-Rule now. Someone needs to start the bats for the eggs. He'll try it, but it'll go foul.
Shell was the only thing chasing that ball. Speaking of balls, that's a ball pitch from Toadsworth. 1-1 count, putting a little power into it, but that power is going to turn into a deep hit from K-Rule. Diddy Kong fielding over to the blue Pianta. K-Rule stays at first.
That's
Blue Critter stepping up, doesn't have the same batting performance as his red and brown friends, and that's how we see that happen.
Absolutely.
Doesn't quite get the hit he wants, and it turns into an easy double play.
The only runner for the eggs to get on base, immediately knocked out by a double play, and it's 3 up, 3 out yet again.
Blue Pianta, something of a controversial decision at shortstop. Doesn't really have the mobility you might want from that position. Not really known for big defensive plays, but is usually able to make those catches, and that's why the Wilds are happy having him there. Funky not really able to repeat the performance from that first inning. Let's see if Purple Toad can do it. Deep hit to center field for an easy single.
The eggs at this point have got to be focused on just keeping the Wild scoreless so that they can mount their comeback. Any extra run, any extra hit puts them deeper and deeper in danger, as a POW block might just send Purple Toad home.
Blue Pianta's going to make it to second. Yoshi throwing the laser shot, but it's far too late. Purple Toad was well over the bag by the time it reached home base.
That's 4 up now for the Wilds. I'm not sure the eggs have ever been this far behind as Birdo starts to tire.
Let's see if you get what you wanted from the beginning of the game, Willie. Birdo starting to tire could mean we see her off the base by the 4th inning. It's a close play. The DK Wilds take it.
And a quick analysis of player psychology, as the commissioner learned, is that in every close play that happens, the batting team will always win. It's that little bit of drive, that little bit of extra momentum for the players that gives them the heart to get through. And a badly timed Earthquake will mess up the outfield. Blue Pianta gets the run in easily. That is, what, 6-0 now?
5-0, but 2 on. And they're at third and second. We're going to see Yoshi up to the plate from that outfield. Or no, it's Yoshi the catcher. There's Yoshi in the outfield, but it's a different Yoshi.
Are you saying that all Yoshis look alike?
No, I'm saying I'm colorblind, Willie. I'm not. That just makes me look worse.
Again, the Wilds really just showing amazing offensive power here as the Eggs are put deep into a hole. 6-0 with a 7th run scoring and a bungled play from Baby Mario and Yoshi in the outfield. The Eggs just can't get anything.
I can't keep track of where my own players are, but it doesn't matter because where they are is coming home, baby.
Diddy Kong knocks it high up. Possible item usage to disrupt the play will not happen.
Late bomb is going to make that an out, but it might actually be a sac fly as Baby DK comes in from third.
The Wilds going hog wild on the bats here. 8-0, only 3 innings in, and another deep shot to the outfield. They'll have to make a hell of a jump.
Super jump here, and it's gonna make the out to prevent a 2-run home run and prevent that from being a 10-0 lead, at least for the time being.
This is by no means impossible from the Eggs, but maybe with Yoshi on the plate, they can keep the Wilds a little bit colder. But as pitching staff comes up and goes down, we expect higher and higher innings later and later into the game. The Eggs have got to start something now, though, as they're down 8-0. They've only gone 1 runner on first base.
Ooh, a bad dive from the Blue Pianta misses that, and that does allow a second runner onto first base for the Eggs. Toadsworth holding it down at least a little bit longer than he did in his previous game. And a solid double play. Beautiful fielding by the Blue Pianta.
Once again, Eggs managed to get a run on first and immediately knocked out by a double play.
A little bit of star power usage from Toadsworth, but the hit's gonna go deep into center field, or at least up into center field. And now he's starting to tire. Got a great arm, but not a lot of stamina.
Yoshi will hit it straight to the shortstop, though, to end the inning. Now, by all means, when the Eggs get back up to the plate, they'll have Birdo. They'll have the Kaul core up to bat. They'll have to make something happen, but first things first, they have to escape the bats of the Wilds. Funky Kong immediately making a statement. A warning shot deep out to right field will go foul. His second attempt, though.
Fair ball, but he's not a fast Kong.
You would expect. Listen, you can let the man lay back a little bit with an 8-0 lead as Purple Toad knocks it out deep.
Oh,
another buddy jump will be required.
Eggs are warming their defense up, finally, in this 4th inning. Hoping to prevent any more damage. Getting through some of the strongest bats of the Wilds. You gotta get through the Blue Pianta. If you can manage that, or at least keep him just to a base hit, you've got Toadsworth and Dixie Kong. But he's gonna find a hit. It's gonna go to center. He's gonna run to first. They're not even gonna try and stop him. But here's Toadsworth. Looks at one. Takes a hit on a second, and it's right to the right field there.
Now, as I said before, dangerous section of the Eggs batting order. But in a reversal of what we expected almost, the Wilds defense has been impenetrable with Toadsworth on this mound. Toadsworth
was getting a little tired at the end of that last pitching inning. Let's see if the short break from batting was enough to keep him in it. It definitely isn't. But he is staying on the mound for one more bat. And it's the brown critter. We'll see if this is a good choice or maybe a bit of a mistake. Not the batter you want to mess up in front of. That's a deep hit to left field. Dixie's not going to make it in time to help for the super jump, and that's a 2-run home run.
Weakness. Weakness on the mound, immediately exploited from the eggs. Now, Toadworth has done more than his job, so if he's taken off the mound now, he will have done a great opening job in this pitching game for the Wilds, and it looks like we're going to see a change. Donkey Kong.
Usually DK, coming off of first base, putting Toadsworth over there. Doesn't have much synergy with his immediate defensive people over at first. Strange running path from Dixie, but that was always going to be a sin.
Now, Blue Critter, with no assistance from the rest of the batting order, has to try to keep this going. A deep shot to right will let K-Rool get to third. Now, the Wilds aren't in that much trouble. They still have a very solid lead, and that young bottom half of the lineup for the Eggs, and a star pitch from DK, resulting in a weak hit.
Interesting choice on the fielder's choice there. Let K-Rool come home in order to get a second to first double play.
They can't.
Still keeping a 5-run lead, but you can't let that happen too often.
And another weak hit, attempted to be broken up by a power block.
Unfortunately, so was the run. Running attempt from Baby Mario. He tripped right when the power block went off. Couldn't even make it to first.
DK with one of the strongest pitches of any of the captains. With another dangerous thing. A rare bungle from Critter will let Dixie Kong get on base. The defense of the Eggs needs to come together now in the middle of this game. And it looks like it will with a nice double play to clean up the bases.
And we've got Tiny Kong up at base. See if she can get on, or up at plate, see if she can get on base. A little bit of a differential in the amount of star power here for both teams. Eggs full up, Wilds completely drained.
Donkey Kong loves to use those resources when they're available to him. Also, a time-warping dive from Baby Daisy. This is going to be a solid question from DK. When he's not using up all those star pitches, can he still lock down the mound? He does a great showing on the first batter as Pink Yoshi knocks it to shortstop for an easy catch and easy out. Baby Daisy follows that up with a foul. Something funny.
Just enjoying our time here, Willie. Baby Daisy's second hit goes where she wants it, and she does make it to first. DK's got a strong arm on these pitches, but that usually means if you can make contact, they're going to be going pretty far.
Now, DK, no star pitches yet. Runner on second. Birdo hits it high to right.
I think that's going to be Baby Daisy coming home. We're seeing a fast pitch, but it's not going to make it in time. Just barely. Just barely. Seeing the replay on that one. Sails across the field. Oh. I want the slow-mo on that one.
And Brown Critter immediately comes up to the plate. Now this could be a good body catch. Results in no damage, but Yoshi will try to bring it home. 8-5.
And does so. We're starting to see the cracks in the Wilds here. Up against some other strong batters, their defense can start to fumble a bit.
Still, the outfield is loving their chemistry as K-Rool wants to do some damage against DK. And he'll get it with a single.
Vibes on the Wilds in victory or defeat, Willie.
Sorry,
they
say
know
that
they
again?
still got a 3-run lead. They just need to get one more out.
DK.
The 1-0 pitch or 0-1 pitch from DK.
That will end the inning. A nice high ball leads to an easy catch from Dixie. Only 2 run on the innings for the Eggs. Now, this is where we find out if Slow and Steady wins the race, or if those bursts of speeds from the Wilds can really break apart this Egg defense. Diddy Kong, first batter for the inning, will get a nice single as he knocks it out to right field. Donkey Kong, maybe feeling a little bit of pressure after a weak last inning.
He's going to have a very weak second inning. Or 5th inning. 6th inning. I've lost track of time, Willie.
Time is an illusion to Funky Kong, as this ball will take forever to land safely. It's in the hand of Yoshi. 3 up, 3 out. We're seeing a reversal of fortunes in the second half of this game as the Eggs make it competitive. Now, 3 runs is not a big lead, but it is still a lead. And the Eggs used up all of their good resources in the last 2 innings as the powerful hitters are now lots and lots and lots of bats away from that plate. We'll see if the babies can keep it alive as Baby Peach, with a solid hit up the middle, will at least get a single. Baby Mario, I'm not sure that man should be up this late, but he'll still, through tired eyes, solid hit past first base will result in another single.
Infield for the Wilds actually performing pretty poorly. 2 dives, 2 misses, 2 runners making it to first, with the first one making it to second.
A high, deep ball. This should be a buddy catch. There we go. Baby Mario way out of position, but with that speed will make it very safely to first base. A good attempt from Pink Yoshi. But again,
this is giving the Eggs exactly what they want. They're getting through this weaker part of the batting order. They're making their way back to the K rule.
One more batter before they hit the top. Now, I'm watching for DK's star pitch because one good barrel roll can easily result in double play. He's going for it. Weak contact. A power block sends the ball going up to the middle, but it'll still result in a double play that ends the inning.
Good recovery off of that power block by the Wilds defense. Dixie was right in position to send it right back to second base, right over to Funky Kong, who sent it over to Toadsworth.
I honestly think at this point that DK has proven himself as an excellent secondary pitcher for the Wilds. Great power, but more importantly, one of the best star pitches, if not the best star pitch in the league, because it results in great double play potential. Pianta showing off that power. Amazing speed from Pink Yoshi, though, to get that catch. So fast our camera was glitching out.
Purple Toad's not too happy about that. He was basically at second base, had to run all the way back to first. Oh, and Toadsworth hit such a weak hit to second base. Second baseman of the brown critter leads to an easy double play.
It took a long time for the Eggs defense to lock this down, but it's been 4 scoreless innings now for the Wilds as that lead shrinks further and further. But
I think the Wilds are trying to break down Yoshi's stamina. If they can get past Yoshi, who do you think is up next for the Eggs?
Well, statistically, you would want to go to Baby Daisy, but I don't think that's where the Eggs have gone the last couple of games. So
2 hits out to Funky Kong at second base, 2 outs at first base off of the glove of Funky Kong. The Wilds are trying to get through this inning quick. Brown Critter's not going to let him, but he's not going to do much with that foul either.
There might be a lot of power from this section of the Eggs batting order, but they need to get players on base in order to put that power to proper use. At least one batter will put K-Rool in a decent position, but DK has that star pitch to get him out of a bind should he choose to use it. Doesn't go for it. K-Rool with 2 strikes.
Nice hit, but it's high. Dixie's able to catch it, throws to second, not in time to stop the brown critter.
Barely.
DK starting to get tired. Think he needs to break out his star pitch here, or do you think he can sit the blue critter down before going out?
I would expect a star pitch from him, but he must be a little bit disappointed. I was going to say in Dixie barely not making that catch at center and allowing Kale to get on base, but instead, finally, the Wilds are in the best. The Wilds are in the best possible position as they go into that K-Rule core with 2 outs and manage to keep them to singles before securing that final out on the last K-Rule. That will mean, yes, that was very funny. That will mean that when the Eggs come back to the bat, there's not a lot of power behind them as the Wilds maintain that 3-0 lead. But 2 hits to shortstop, 1 in the air will result in the first out of the inning, 1 on the ground will result in a quick throw to first for the second out of the inning.
And a 3rd hit to shortstop. It's a fair ball and a 3rd out.
Now, the Eggs at this point, 2 innings to score 3 runs. That's not a lot, but especially against a tired DK. But they're in the weakest part of their batting order. And it's shown off here as a quick ground ball to shortstop results in another out. DK still not happy with that, but will stay in the game for now. Frustration.
Going for the barrel pitch. Probably just wants to get another quick out. Baby Mario doesn't take the bait and will just take the strike.
Showing experience beyond his years. I think that's one of the first times we've seen a barrel pitch that the batter has it swung at. Doesn't matter though, as Pianta cleans it up with a good catch.
We're seeing a very different game from what I expected tonight. It's been the Wild's defense that's actually been able to keep the batting from the Eggs contained. And meanwhile, the Wild's batting, well, they are also a bit contained as well, but nowhere near as much.
The Eggs will
Not
only
the
have
explosive scores we had before.
The Eggs will only have one more opportunity.
We're going into some of the strongest batters on the Wilds. Not Diddy, but the 2 right after.
Diddy.
Arguably the 4 right after, and Diddy's kind of annoyed at me for making that statement, actually. With a strong, deep hit to left, almost went over the wall. And then the shell to follow it up and allow him to get the second.
Yoshi might not be tired yet, but he still has to escape DK, who will drive it straight, high, and out. This will have to be a hell of a catch. It is!
They do make it. Now Diddy's got to run back to second. He does return.
Correct me if I'm...
He's got to be a little disappointed there. How many of his potential home runs have been stuffed this evening by those buddy catches in the very impressive outfield of the Eggs?
I think that's at least 3 times that DK has hit a great hit up the middle that's been caught. Yoshi, first time throwing a star pitch. What resulted much, though, is it still is a single from Funky Kong. But it's not a homer from Funky Kong.
Yeah, single's one of the best hits you can get out of Funky Kong if you're on that pitcher's mound. Purple Toad showed us early in the first why he's a scary batter, but is actually just going to turn into a brutal double play that erases a potential Diddy run. With some great fielding by the Eggs, cannot discount them. It is now all up to DK and his backup pitcher to prevent the Eggs from scoring 3, but you are out of their strongest part of the lineup. Oh, and it's not DK at all, it's just Diddy coming in from the outfield.
Not what the Eggs want is 1 out from Daisy. That will send them back to the top of their batting order. But Yoshi needs to get on base, has struggled lots this game. A single.
A very weak left field for the Wilds. DK not known for his fielding and especially not his speed.
Birdo desperately needs a single. A steal attempt.
Steal attempt from Yoshi. Birdo's hit is going to thwart it. And a good catch by Tiny Kong to make sure that nothing actually happens there.
This game will be over in the next 3 batters, almost no matter what. Brown Critter key to the Eggs' batting success the first week. Will knock it out. Yoshi going to third. We have two runners on. A home run would tie the game from K. Rool, a devastating batting power.
Very scary situation for the Wilds and Diddy Kong. A nice hit. It's going far, but it's still in the field. Shell's not coming out, and it's going to drop easily into the glove of Dixie Kong. And that'll be the game.
And the end of the Eggs' undisputed rule.
What an incredible game from the Wilds and Eggs tonight. Despite the Eggs locking down the last 6 innings with their defense, the Wilds' early lead proves too much to overcome as K. Rool's bat falls just short of tying the game on the last out.
You have to think that maybe the Wilds were thinking back to that game with the Monarchs and going, we don't want that to happen again. That game was won by another walk-off home run. This is the Wilds' home stadium. It's built for those deep hits.
I'm going to go ahead and give that game the title of Banger Alert, as the Wilds just barely hold off the Eggs. 3 runs.
Very tense game throughout. That box score doesn't really tell the story. Don't forget to grab the box score, by the way.
Yeah, I'm desperately trying to. Sometimes this legitimate hardware can be a little bit finicky when you're trying to get solid records for the papers tomorrow. A well-earned MVP from Blue Pianta. Great pickup from the Wilds. Might have been a very key difference to secure them.
They've always been fielding Blue Pianta.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was their pickup?
They did not change out their roster. They were just old records saying that they had Yellow Yoshi, but Yellow Yoshi was actually let go of during the off-season.
Alright, well, we'll see if any more games can match that energy. As for our third game of the night, the commissioner needs to figure out which one of these tabs is his spreadsheets. There we go. Mark that one down for the Wilds. Mark down that beautiful score, 8-5. For the record now. Hang on, I'm sorry, 1 second. So, at this point, that does secure. Oh my god, the running for the playoffs is incredibly tight. Right now, the Wilds have first seed with a 2-run record and a run differential of plus 16. The Eggs barely behind, 2-1 run differential of plus 14. And the Monarchs also staking a claim, 2-1 plus 11 record. For our next game of the evening, the last 3 games of this evening, the Eggs, the Monarchs, and the Wilds all making their plays. And the first game that we're going to see come up is the Monarchs versus the Muscles on Daisy Cruiser. The Muscles themselves, the last team to play today. Also a 1-1 team, but they will have to come up against this incredible Monarchs lineup, crush their hopes of the finals, if they want to make it. And double checking, we will now see if all of the players are ready. Silver Lily, what is your opinion on the Muscles' chances versus the Monarchs heading into this game?
I think, if I'm just choosing who's going to win this right now, I think I'm giving it to the Monarchs. The Muscle really struggled in their game against the Eggs the other evening. They haven't been having a lot of good performances out of some of their key batters. If those can turn around, they might have a good chance. But the Monarchs have been showing us recently why they are a threat with their very close game against the Wilds that was 19-18. And then their last game against the Flowers that was 20-5. Once again, the Flowers, the only team that the Muscle have beat. It could be that strong hitters might just be the Monarchs' weakness, or good defense might be the Monarchs' weakness. But we haven't seen a lot from the Muscle.
Well, they'll have a chance to prove themselves here as the ruling is coming down. The players look set and ready to go.
Bringing up my stats sheet here, there have been a few strong batters on the Monarchs, and actually one of the best defensive players in the league, but only one. And that's the Red Critter, one of the best batters and one of the best defensive players. The MVP in their game against the Flowers. Boomerang Bro has also had a fairly strong batting showing, and then King Boo, Blooper, and Waluigi kind of round out the rest of their best batters, their main batting core being Wario through Boomerang Bro. They were hearing that they were expecting a bit more from Wario. He is the naming captain of the team, but he just didn't seem to make it happen in those last two games.
Well, we'll see if their defense can also stand up to this incredible batting power of the Monarchs as we begin this daytime battle on Daisy Cruiser.
And the defense actually does seem to be one of their weakest points. It is, if you'll give me just a second, it is rated as the weakest in the league. So if the Monarchs can break past their pitchers, the Muscle is probably going to take a lot of damage. Caught my throat for a second there.
And in such a tight race for the top spot in the league, any run differential is good run differential. PD starts this game off good for the Monarchs with a simple single.
The Wilds are definitely hoping for a good Muscle performance here, if only to contain the Monarchs.
Well, a solid catch from Wario out of left field managed to scramble there just in time.
But to give you some information here, Willie, the only player on the Muscle to have scored any points for their fielding over the last two games was that Red Critter.
A broken table early in the match from the item side of the Monarchs. And also a solid shot from Bowser to get PD to third. As we stop looking at the stats for a moment, and remember, this is a reminder to myself, not to you, to look at the game because I was so distracted listening to you. We're going to have to see if Boo can keep this first inning scoreless, and he will, as a good double play for the Muscles. That infield, still pretty dangerous.
It is exactly what the Muscles want to see from their inning. Quick double plays like that. Almost looked dangerous for a second. PD did make it to third, but some good pitching by Boo and some good play by their infield.
And an immediate good play by their bats as Boomerang Bro immediately knocks it off the right side of the ship.
We're gonna have to get a new ball, Willie.
Oh my god. Aquaman is gonna be so mad at us as Boo himself, the pitching star of the Muscles, comes up to the plate. And he'll hit it high. That should be an easy catch from Blue Noki. We'll have to watch synergy problems in the Muscles lineup.
Order changed? Did the batting order change, or did I just have them in wrong?
The batting
I
order...
was expecting a different order from this
Okay,
muscle team.
confirm to me, because I was looking at the order on the spreadsheet. What order were you expecting?
I was expecting the one on a different part of the spreadsheet, but yours appears to be the correct one. To me, the most interesting choice...
Sorry, no. Pause. What is the order that you were expecting in a different part of the spreadsheet? Were you expecting...
I was just checking over at the score line, where I just kind of have them in an order. It's not...
Okay.
It's not the proper order. Don't worry, you were correct.
Okay. I didn't notice also, incredibly cute, that you're keeping track of all this. Okay. Now, the muscles are kept to 1, and the Monarchs immediately try to respond.
And they do. And it's another one of those bros. This time the Hammer Bro.
Again, off that right side of the ship. Daisy Cruiser seems to me that right side, that uneven outfield can result in hard plays for the defense on the best of days.
You'd need a lot of speed and some good synergy in order to be in place for that.
Something the Muscles outfield, we know, tends to struggle with. Their infield, though.
Maybe the Eggs could do it, maybe the Wilds outfield.
Well, the
It's
Muscles are
definitely a very easy place to score on in this stadium.
definitely not that many difficulties so far from the Muscles, as Mario takes a swing, knocks it to left field, barely not caught by Wario, just a little bit too low on that speed. Keeps Mario to a single.
Blue Noki coming up.
Didn't make a lot happen earlier in the game, but will make at least Mario get to base safely, as Boomerang Bro takes a little bit too long to pick up that ball.
It's one of the weaknesses of those bro catches is that they do take some time to make their way into the glove and allow them to reposition it. Great for getting outs, not so great for getting outs on bases.
But the Muscles defense keeps it together. We're going to have to keep a close eye on what their second pitch will be, as this game stays low scoring but tied at 1-1.
I do want to talk about what I think is a bit of an interesting decision from the Muscle management. They do not have Wario and Waluigi batting back to back. Now those two are known for really only getting along with each other. They do not have synergy with anyone else. So I'm wondering why the Muscle management chose to keep them apart on the batting order, maybe trying to encourage them to get along with their teammates a little bit more, maybe didn't think the synergy was as important as the specific stat spread at specific points. I'm not certain.
Strong possibility, since a Boo separates them, that they just did not notice that the Boo was there as they lined up to figure out what their batting order would be. Toad. We do not
Boos
expect batting power from Toads. And we were not going to get anything, as the first strong hit goes foul, and the second hit gets Waluigi to second, but not much past that. You said Blooper was a good hitter for the Muscles, though, didn't you?
Blooper has been one of their more consistent hitters. Their best hitters are absolutely Red Critter and Boomerang Bro, but right after that, it's King Boo and Blooper.
Now, Blooper not able to get on base, instead walking at a consistent pace back to the dugout, as the Muscles are kept scoreless on this inning. Now again,
They do love to prove me wrong whenever I break out the stats. It's a very common thing.
Yeah. We're going to have to see what Petey can do, as a strong, solid shot out to left field is not made by any of the players. That is a deep section of the park to hit to and still get a home run, but Petey manages it. And that's a 1-run lead for the Monarchs. How fast, I'm curious now, is Waluigi? Waluigi is considered a, double checking my stats here, not the fastest player. I'm not sure if a faster player would have been able to make it. But Boo on the mound now needs to limit the damage of this inning, as Bowser knocks a solid shot out to the right field to get Wiggler into scoring position on third. This might be where the power of the Monarchs bats that drove them to a 20-5 victory earlier in the night comes alive once again, as a solid hit from Hammerbow out to right will result in a safe single and get Wiggler in for a point at home. The lead extends to 3-1. Happy about that one, as Boo starts to tire. This is where the muscles, their defensive posturing becomes all the more important, as soon enough they will need to substitute in someone for the excellent pitching power of Boo. Hammerbro, though, takes advantage by knocking another high one out to midfield.
Isn't going to prevent a 3-1 home run. The Bros are really showing up tonight, and one team has twice as many.
The Monarchs making a statement to be queens of the league as they go up 6-1 against the Muscles, and the Boo pitcher is pulled out for Wario coming in. Now, Wario, power but not a lot of control behind that pitching hand, and the Muscles outfield now completely lacks in synergy. Peach correctly guessing which ball is the birdie will result in a solid single. There's still no outs on this inning for the Muscles.
Maybe a bit quieter for a little bit, Lillian. I must apologize for that.
That's alright. Wario needs to make something happen here. He'll make a double play happen, and his evil doppelganger will return back to the dugout as Blue Noki steps up to the plate. Should hopefully be easy cleanup. Wario will need the confidence boost going to the next inning, and he'll get it, as finally this inning comes to a close. Not happy with all the difficulty his team is facing, as a 5-run inning from the Monarchs really gets this game started.
Right,
now,
in that double play there, we were able to see the strength of the Bro catch.
But,
Speaking of a Bro catch, I don't think we're going to see one this time. Red Critter determined to make up just a little bit of that lead with a first pitch home run to start off this inning.
Once again, it was done against the Monarchs earlier today, as the Flowers responded to a high-scoring inning with an immediate bomb out center field for a one-run homer. Critter makes it happen against them. Boomerang Bo tries to make it happen again, but will not, as a buddy catch cleans up that one. And the lead stays at 6-2. One out. Nobody on the bases. And Peach, one of the most enduring and best pitchers in this game, keeps up her assault on the Muscles batting order. She can rest a little bit easy, laying that one-run bomb out, as her team still has that 4-run lead. And that hit to shortstop has to also add to the confidence, as it's now 2 outs as the captain of the Muscles steps to the plate. Warrior looks at one, hits the second, but a weak hit will result in an easy out. As the first third of this game comes to a close, the Monarchs with a 6-2 lead. Now, 4 runs over the course of 6 innings is not a lot, but the Monarchs bats are known to come alive the later and later and later we go in this game. Wario, fresh on the mound, will need to get through as much of this game as he can, as efficiently as he can. As Petey Piranha knocks a solid single, runner on first, 1 out. Wiggler up to bat. Early charge results in a nice out for double play. That's what you want to see from the defense of the Muscles. They weren't challenged in the outfield by any of the heavy hitters, and Wario needs to keep it that way. as the muscles will return to the plate with their own strong bat with 0 muscles of King Boo. Watches the first one fly.
Peach using a star pitch. He's gonna get the strike. Hoping for a strikeout. Boo's not gonna give it. Boo's gonna go for the fly out instead.
Shy Guy. Can't count this bat out. Hit a homer in the first week of the game. Will, however, ground out at third. This is not what the muscles need. They need to make up this lead now, as it's only going to get more dangerous as the game goes on. But Waluigi can't make anything happen either. 3 up, 3 out for the muscles, as this game stays at 6-2 heading into the 5th inning. You gotta love the drip on those bats. Wario, a real test of him at the plate. He'll need to get past some of the strongest batters from the Monarchs. Does a good job on the first one as Bowser hits a fly ball out to left field and is easily caught out. Fire Bro. Also, with that dangerous bat, though, a lob from Wario will result in a deep hit to center.
And another home run. This is not a stadium in which you can afford to have those weak outfields. You need to be able to do those chemistry catches, those buddy catches.
Now, to be fair, I don't think any outfield in this game would have been able to stop that ball. But that'll be cold comfort to the muscles, as it's 7-2 now at the top of the 5th inning. Finally, Wario's tricky W pitch works for the first time and results in a solid strike. And Hammer Bro, not able to follow up on the power of his cousin, grounded out. Peach now immediately follows that up with a nice easy catch at second base. The muscles escape with only 1 run being scored against them at the top of the 5th, but with little success on their bats and a dangerous back half of the game coming up for them, they need to score now. Toad.
Fair ball out to Yoshi in right field. Let Toad make it to first base, bringing up the blooper. Now, I've spoken a little bit about this blooper. I'm a fan of the blooper. Isn't really making it happen right now, but is able to get Toad out to second base off of a sacrifice.
Red Critter. We've said
Red
his
Critter.
cousins on the eggs have been key parts of this league. He wasn't able to challenge them when his team faced the eggs. But if he can drive this Toad home with a solid hit to the outfield, he'll go for it. It's not going to bring Toad home.
On the muscle, and that's why, even in a rough situation, 2 strikes with a Peach star pitch coming at him, able to convert it into a nice single.
The muscles starting to see the lengths that Peach can go as she begins to tire. That's good. That's earlier than the Monarchs tired last game. A solid hit by Boomerang Bro will drive Toad in home and keep Critter safe at third. With only 1 out on this inning, any Muscles player could theoretically open up this game with a good hit.
We're going to be seeing Boo up next. Boo not had the best performance for the Muscles, but they are getting Peach off of the mound. Instead, we're seeing Bowser.
Now, Bowser
Monarchs hoping to make a difference with that new pitcher.
did a great job cleaning up earlier tonight, and he'll make a statement piece as pitcher's blessing kicks in for a nice double play to keep the Muscles at only 1 score in this game, or in this inning. Score 7-3 as we head into the 6th.
Hope the reporters are keeping track of all these statements that are being made, because these teams are showing up tonight.
Speaking of, Mario, again to that shallower right field for another home run for the Monarchs.
Maybe shallow right field, but that's a deep ocean for that ball to fall into.
starting to think, as another statement is made, that I could make a pretty successful run as a bank by just following the Monarchs around. Blue Noki, not able to catch the tricky double pitch from Wario. He'll try it again. But a slap hit goes straight to Boomerang Bro for a catch. As Wario starts to tire. The third pitcher for the Muscles comes up. We're seeing Waluigi at the plate.
And that'll put Wario out in center field. You can see him out there from this camera angle.
He'll be watching very close. You know that that's a backseat pitcher. But Pitcher's Blessing not amounting for much as his first opponent, Red Yoshi, hits a solid single. PD Piranha. Any run, any hit could just be the icing on this game as it's knocked deep out to left field. Will it go foul?
Oh, just barely over that foul line.
But the next one is deep to middle.
One is going to put one right back in the upper decks again. That's a 2-run home run, bringing them to 10 points and their lead up to 7.
Now this is where every extra bit of run differential counts. If the Monarchs walk out of this game with a giant scoreline, it'll be almost impossible for the Eggs and for the Wilds to catch up in that run differential. But they're still a little bit behind now, so they need this to be a big game, and Bowser wants to make it one. Might go foul, does. Runner on
Wild's
second.
last game also against these Muscle. Star hit from Bowser results in a fair ball. Pow Block's going to let the Wiggler keep running, and he's going to make it on home.
That's 11-3 now.
Waluigi not having much luck on the mound. I believe it's still the same inning he came in.
And a single from Boomerang Bow. It's Waluigi.
Waluigi's deciding he doesn't want to pitch anymore. After this inning, I don't know if I can blame him.
Hammer Bro, solid shot up to right. That should drive Bowser home. Boomerang Bro running for third. Doesn't make a run home as the double from Hammer Bro.
Honestly, I think the Boomerang Bro could have made it. We're going to see
it.
another new pitcher. Our fourth pitcher is King Boo, who has been residing behind the... Wasn't King Boo the first pitcher?
King Boo was the catcher.
King Boo was the catcher.
Pitcher.
Okay. I did not remember if the Boo that was on the mound before had a crown or not.
Now, a ground out will still drive a runner home as King Boo manages to get 2 outs for 1 run to end the inning. The Muscles are entering the role of spoiler. It is 13-3 for them as they enter the bottom of the 6th inning. Their chance for a comeback slims down farther and farther. If they can get past Bowser and their bats can come alive, anything's possible, but a hit out to Mario will result in Wario being the first out.
This stage especially, we're seeing the importance of that outfield. It's been making a lot of important plays.
King Boo at least will do something for his team as a single gets him on first. Shy Guy will need to follow that up. Need to make sure that not only does he get out, but any weak hit to shortstop might enable his double play, and it does. As the Fire Bro still I had to stop myself from saying statement again. Still, great catch. Results in a scoreless inning for the Muscles, and the Monarchs look to keep this score ticking up and up and up. In the top of the 7th, it's 13-3 as Blue Noki steps to the plate. They'll ground out on a hit to third. Red Yoshi, not a strong hitter, but will still try and will still hit that ball above Critter at second base for a good double, using that speed to get into scoring position. PD Piranha now.
Looks at one. Hits the second. Out to deep center field, but not over. Wario actually catches it in time to make the out and keep Red Yoshi at second.
Wiggler, powerful but inconsistent. Again hits it straight up to Wario, but won't be caught out this time, as that's a single and places Red Yoshi on third. Bowser has hit a home run already today. Runner on first, runner on third. Star pitch from King Boo goes over the plate for a strike. Second pitch from King Boo. Hit into right field. Not deep enough for a homer, but deep enough to send Red Yoshi home and send Wiggler to third base, as King Boo also starts to tire.
The strong offense from the Monarchs is just ripping through this weaker defense of the Muscle, and their pitchers cannot compensate.
A good hit from Firebro. That single will drive in the batter at third for another run. It's 15-3, and we're seeing another pitching change as Blooper steps to the mound. Now, which of their 10 tentacles will this ball come out of? Apparently not able to drive it straight down the plate, though. It's 3 balls in a row for Hammerbro. Maybe a little bit afraid of the batter at the plate. That last pitch, though, will go straight to Red Critter, as pitcher's blessing at least allows for the end of the inning.
Maybe trying to get the Hammer Bro to swing at nothing finally gives him something he can hit, but luckily for Blooper, even though it is hit, it goes right out to the Red Critter, doing his absolute best to keep this team in the game. But I don't know if his absolute best is going to be worth another 12 runs.
I'm sure the Monarchs would be delighted if this game ended right now, but we still, bottom of the 7th. Red Tone will hit a shot out to center, but that'll be an easy catch from Mario. Waluigi earlier got a single to stay on first. Blooper, the relieving pitcher, looks at one. Swings on second. Good hit out to the left field, but will be caught by Blue Noki to keep Waluigi at first. This is where Red Critter steps to the plate. An early windup. Calling his shot against Bowser. Hits it deep to left field. Mario not going to make it there in time, as it bounces off the back wall and stays barely to a double. No run scored, but oh my god. A runner on second, runner on third. Ball hit out to right field for a catch by Red Yoshi. Will get the Monarchs out of there safely. Barely a scoreless inning for the Muscles, as our game stays at 15-3 going into the 8th inning. Silver Lily, what are your odds of Blooper on the mound? Do you think they can minimize the damage?
I don't know, Willie. Blooper has some decent pitching history, has some decent pitching scores. Can't really find those strikes, but this isn't a strikeout league. Mostly seems to be trying for weak contact. We've seen that with other pitchers. It can be a winning strategy. They haven't done much damage since Blooper hit the mound. Could actually be a pretty good pitcher for them here. Unfortunately, brought in late enough that even the best possible pitching performance from Blooper is not going to matter.
Someone from the Muscles needs to make it to that ball, and Wario will make the catch. At least a glimmer of relief for the Muscles. Maybe not hope, but relief, as for the first time in 4 innings, they stopped the Monarchs from driving in any more runs. Now, they are
solid 3 up, 3 down, too.
They are desperate at this point to score any runs. It's the bottom of the 8th, and they're down 12 as their first batter of Boo grounds out to shortstop. Next up, Wario, the captain for his team, needs to start a rally here. Will knock it out to center field. Not caught. It's a single. Not the statement piece you want. I'm so sorry. I can't stop myself. But it's something. King Boo, powerful bat, up to plate.
Muscle really need him to bring his best right now.
I have to give
a lot of...
Sorry, go ahead.
But he doesn't.
Yeah, no, he'll knock it out to left field.
Look back up, he was out.
He knocked it out to left.
Guy, however, with a good hit out to second base, that'll bring Wario to third.
Waluigi needs to bring his brother home for anything to happen here, but that tall wiggler at second base easily catches that honestly solid shot from Waluigi as we're going into the last inning of the game with a 15-3 scoreline.
At this point, Bloopers just hoping it doesn't get worse.
Both the Eggs and the Wilds, pins and needles right now as they watch the last game for the season of the Monarchs be a real showcase of why they should be in that final. Blooper will force a nice double play. Lady Yoshi got on base successfully last play, but PD Piranha will force knock to second base for a double, despite attempted interference from those items. Wiggler now. Will they be the last batter up for their team? And it looks like that's the case as they hit a fly ball out to shallow left field.
Blooper really making a case for himself as pitcher. Got that squid on the mound. And suddenly, the Monarchs aren't able to find anything.
Were the Monarchs able to score a single run against Blooper?
Nope. They had 1, maybe 2 base hits, and that was it.
Well, now the Muscles are really playing the role of spoiler. No one here in this league expects them to make up this 12-run differential, but any dent they can make in it will make the Wilds and the Eggs breathe a sigh of relief. Toad hit a single. Blooper follows up their amazing pitching performance with their own single as Red Critter, dominating personality, comes up to bat, hits it to center, but Mario will get onto that for the first out of this batting rotation, of this bottom half of the 9th inning.
Red Critter having a bit of a disappointing night after his first couple showings. We're going to see, that's going to go foul, but you know where the Boomerang Bro wants to put it, and it's right out into the ocean to hang with Aquaman again. Isn't going to make it this time, but is going to make it to first and bring the Toad home, just barely making it safe.
Not a bad hit from Boomerang Bro, but yeah, he'll be happy with that. He's making a statement for why he should be picked up. Definitely again and make it into the next season. Boo. Also,
sorry, that was mean of me.
I was thinking of the same joke, but no matter what, we'll see what of these teams even stay together should the next season come. Bowser will hit a strikeout though. And he's feeling good about himself.
It's a very tricky pitch for these batters. Just to secure that strikeout, doesn't want to risk anything. And they're going to take another 11-run differential, add it onto their existing, 11?
Yep.
That'll put them at 22. Highest in the league. If the Wilds want to take first place heading into the championship, they will need to score at least 7 more points than their opponent in their final game. And if the Eggs want to take it, they'll have to score at least 9.
The Monarchs
Eggs have a pretty good shot at that, playing against these Flowers for their final game. The Wilds up against the Muscle.
An MVP scoring game from the Monarchs. As they end their season, they have nothing to do but watch now and see what happens in our last 2 games of the night. The Muscles, their season, not over yet. As they will be featured in our last game of the night. But before we get to that, we have to see the Eggs, who started off last week so strong and ran into a real roadblock with the Muscles earlier, played their last game of the season against the Flowers in Wario City. We'll see what they're able to...
Technically can still make it to the championship, but it's not looking good for their chances because they need the Eggs to lose this series, and then they need to decisively beat the Wilds.
Just making sure that I've got this correct. So the Monarchs end their season 3-1 with a plus 22 run differential.
Both the Wilds and the Monarchs, in fact, all of the teams not playing, are going to be biting their nails watching this next game, hoping the Eggs don't perform that well. Unfortunately for them, the Eggs' opponent is the Flowers, and the Flowers have not performed well all tournament.
Now, we'll be watching to see if the Flowers can have the upset of the tournament. If they stop the Eggs, our final will be all but dusted. Will be all but known. Not technically mathematically concluded, but about as close as we can get it. As the Eggs and the Muscles line up, Silver Lily, what do the Flowers need to do in order to win this game?
It's all about defense, Willie. I think that is what I truly believe here, is that it is all about defense. The Flowers have been letting through score after score after score after score. They've been having troubles with their fielding, and even when they made moves to tighten it up, it wasn't coming together for them. So their pitchers really need to step up, try and prevent those hits, get more strikeouts at the plate. Not common in this league, but I think that's what they need to have happen. Barring that, they have to try and break through the best defense in the league. And I don't think that's going to happen either. So I think they need to make changes in how they're playing out on the field while the other team's up at bat. And that's the only thing that's going to allow them to play spoiler here. Otherwise, I think we're going to see the Eggs walk all over them. Might not be the highest scoring game against the Flowers we've seen, but it is going to matter in this little run differential race for the tournament.
The players are set. We enter Wario City in the nighttime as the Eggs take on the Flowers. And I'm a little bit worried. I think we might have a players' protest here. We're keeping an eye on it. No protest as the game starts clean. Birdo still on that mound. Again, weaker player, weaker pitcher for the Eggs.
After the performance of Yoshi in that game against the Wilds, I thought maybe the Eggs management might move Green Yoshi to starting pitcher, but it seems like they're leaving Green Yoshi and their general field positions where they are, and it's just trust in Birdo to lock down the first few innings, then step out and let Yoshi take the plate.
Management may be deciding that they should... They might not force, and they might encourage everybody else to technically break the rules they set of no swapping their dugouts in between games. Even though they actively encourage the other teams to do that. At least once the technical ruling when this tournament started was that you were free to swap up your...
I don't want to interrupt you too much here, but I do want to give credit to Darkbones. Beautiful home run straight up the center, crashing right into that theater out behind the wall. So it is going to let the Flowers get at least 1 point in this first inning. Let's see if they can score more than 5 this game. Anyway, please return.
Again, sorry, just explaining. Technically, the rules when this tournament started was that the draft happened for all the teams. You could swap up freely. Then the rosters were locked for games 1 and 2. Then the rosters unlocked over the course of the week and locked again for games 3 and 4. But after management actively encouraged players to break that rule for games 1 and 2, they're at least sticking to it for games 3 and 4 as Birdo stays on the mound. Now, Yoshi.
Understood. As I am the Wilds commentator, the Wilds refuse to do any sort of field movement throughout this tournament, and in fact refuse to engage with it at all. So I am less familiar because I did not have to look at the rules.
It's almost as if this was a really shoddy, haphazard tournament thrown together at the last second. But one thing everyone can agree on is that the commissioner and the Flowers defense are both doing a great job. As they catch a high ball out from Brown Critter that could have been the first runs for the Eggs this game, with that synergy in the outfield.
The Flowers defense always performs best while Magic Koopa is on the mound and Bowser Jr. is in the outfield. What we're going to have to watch for here is once Magic Koopa steps off the mound, if they send Bowser Jr. up into the mound like they usually do, that tends to put a big hole in the outfield for the Flowers. And suddenly their defense falls apart, and that's when we start seeing them get run over by the other teams.
Now, it should be said that even with their starting strongest defense, Blue Critter up to the plate with 2 runners on, but a good catch from Daisy at third base will get the Flowers out of the first inning, keeping the Eggs scoreless. Now, this is where the Flowers, you said it yourself, they tend to struggle defensively in the late game, in the middle game, really. So now they need to score as many runs as they possibly can versus this solid Eggs defense. Bowser Jr. not setting a great example as his ball will be caught by second base for a quick play. Magic Koopa, though, that started
so far, really been able to crack the Eggs has been the Wilds. Makes some sense when you think about it. But even the Monarchs weren't able to find that. The Flowers have had some of the weakest offense this entire tournament.
And
I'm impressed they've been able to score 1 so far, honestly. They're not finding the small ball they need to get more.
Well, the Eggs will at least close out the top of the second with a double play. Our score remains 1-0 as we go back to the bats of the babies in the back half. Now, Baby Peach will at least hit a single, get on base for the Eggs. Baby Mario watches that, maybe wants to impress her in that daycare. Has to get a good hit here. I don't know how Cappy didn't get hit by that ball, but we're not ruling that one a beanball. Baby Mario will still hit a good slap up to the middle. Pow block doesn't amount to much as the babies stay disciplined and keep it to a single. Pink Yoshi, fan favorite from week 1, needs to show some power here in week 2. A little bit too much power, but a good boo stops the catch from the center field and results in loaded bases for the powerhouse that is. Let me check my notes here. Baby Daisy.
No outs, bases loaded. It's a good catch by Daisy at third, but not enough to prevent the out. Baby Peach running into first. Baby Mario, the only one still standing on base, but it is now a tie game with Yoshi up to bat.
Facing now 2 outs, and that will be a quick catch by Dark Bones. The game will be tied up. A lot of danger, honestly, escaped by the Flowers there, as we're 1-1 going into the third inning. Now again, this is a run differential game. If the Eggs don't score big against the Flowers, they could find themselves out of the finals. So the Flowers, also hungry for their first win, will need to perform strong here. As Daisy hits that ball so fast it's caught by her past self for a nice clean out. Luigi earlier hit a single. Dry Bones now, maybe bunting the ball. No. Thinks twice of it. Is he going to bunt this ball? No, watches the second one go over the plate. And
Is he going to do anything to this ball? He is going to get a hit, but Baby Daisy's going to get the easy out, turning it into a double play on Luigi.
That washing machine sound on this map is going to drive me insane. Strongly considering banning the stadium just because of that. Oh, I realize it's probably the sewer grates in the back, isn't it? Whatever. Birdo, secondary captain of the Eggs. Strong bat up to plate now against that wonderful pitcher Magic Koopa. Hits it deep to center field, but there is synergy. That doesn't manage to make the catch anyway as Birdo scores a home run on the Flowers. That'll put the Eggs in the lead at the bottom of the third inning, 2-1 with no outs yet. 1-2, excuse me. And Magic Koopa starts to tire.
Which is bad news for the Flowers because we know how this goes once Magic Koopa gets off the mound. Big hit from the brown critter. That might just be another home run. We're going to see the jump, and it's another home run.
I did not expect that. I thought that Koopa and Dry Bones had that catch, but again, barely missed. And the tragedy is, oh my god, just over the eyes of Koopa there to make this game 1-3 with no outs.
Rolled off his snout.
Oh my god, the Flowers with an incredible substitution. Unexpectedly, Daisy comes into the mound and that outfield chemistry stays solid. Pitcher's blessing results in K-Rule getting knocked out at shortstop and a star pitch. Blue Critter has the wherewithal and the experience to watch it fly for a strike.
This pitcher change could be so important for the Flowers. They've often struggled in the middle game. They're not doing the best here, but they're not bleeding the ways they normally do. This is still a very accomplishable game for them. So if they're able to keep their defense up to their early game standards, they might still have a chance.
Now, Daisy, the weaker part of the lineup, but these babies know how to slap. As a slap hit from Mario goes successfully straight up the center, but a bad item usage results in, I think, a double play. No, Blue Critter barely sneaks in safely. What was that from the Eggs? Terrible item usage, resulting in an out that should never have happened, and a star pitch, no discipline from Pink Yoshi, will hit it. But the item, oh my god, interference from Baby Mario. Knocks over the fielder. What the hell?
I'm utterly speechless, Willie.
Making up for the play last time. 2 outs, bases loaded. Baby Daisy up to bat against her future self. Knocks it straight out. 2 runners in.
2 runs coming in. And now we're in the danger zone for the Flowers, and it's still only the 3rd inning.
What an incredible series of plays. Incredible as in just watching it happen. Runner on first, runner on third. The captain comes up with 2 outs, watches the first one fly. And a deep hit. Now there is synergy. This should be a catch.
Another home run. This time it will be the catch and it will be the out. The Flowers putting an end to the inning to the 3rd inning rally by the Eggs.
Now, that is what the Eggs need if they want to make it to the finals. The score is 1-5 as we head into the 4th inning. The Flowers need to start these bats as the shell core marches on. Red Koopa watches the first one fly from Birdo. As a reminder, Birdo, probably the weakest pitcher we will see for the Eggs tonight.
The Flowers' best chance at scoring, but they've only been able to find one, and it was off the back bat of this Dark Koopa. And he's not been able to make it happen since. In fact, what he's making happen here is really bad for the Flowers. He gave them a double play.
Quite the catch from the second base shortstop Blue Critter. I feel like most second basemen would let that ball slide out to center field. Really a star position from a star, maybe a thankless position given to a star player results in a good play. And shortstop, once again, temporal powers from Baby Daisy. When asked how she manages to make those catches that are twice her body length away, she just started chanting in tongues. So we don't know. The eggs back at the plate. Daisy, the captain, looking to put on some damage, but Birdo hits it over the head of the second baseman in an errant ball.
The danger of the Wario City outfield, really messing with what could have been a single and turning it into a double. Right in time for the brown critter to show up and hit it. Is this another out of the park? It looks like it is. No, falling right into the glove of the Koopa, just barely. In order to take the out, Birdo still going to third.
K-Rool now.
Here's King K-Rool.
K-Rool did not really shine against the Wilds. Can he make something happen against the Flowers? Watches the first two. The third pitch comes in, slaps it out to the outfield.
Right on the arrow that's so brutal for those outfielders. Bowser Jr. gets hit with a shell, betrayal from his own kind, and that's going to allow K-Rool to go to second.
As Daisy starts to tire. Now, don't get me wrong, I would much rather Daisy be in the outfield than Magic Koopa, and that might be what happens if Blue Critter can do even more damage to this Flowers defense. A hit, barely not caught by that Dark Bones.
Right into the glove of the Koopa. Is it going to make it home in time? Just barely not. King K-Rool struts on in, and now it's a 6-point lead. Now we see Bowser Jr. out in the field. Now that left field synergy is broken up, this is where the Flowers really start to fall apart.
Now, by all means, Daisy still stronger in that outfield than Magic Koopa was, as a paintball from Bowser Jr. looks to seal this batting from Page Jr. And contact to shortstop will result in a double play. Pitcher's blessing once again comes in, well, to play.
This is what the eggs want. They want this high lead. They want to score at least 9 points. If they score at least 9, that'll guarantee them position in the tournament. They want to score at least 9, but more than their opponent, I mean. It will guarantee them a position in the finals. What position dependent on the performance of the Wilds in their last game of the day.
Magic Koopa, starting pitcher, hits it foul at the top of the 5th inning. Hits it high to left field. The speed of Pink Yoshi not able to make it there for a catch as it goes wide into the foul zone anyway.
I think this is one of the longest pitching performances we've ever seen from Birdo. Still going strong into the 5th inning, having only let up one run and a few base hits.
Wasn't that one run based off like a homer on the first play of the game for the Flowers?
No, it was the Dark Koopa home run. Or Dark Koopa Dark Bones home run. I believe Dark Bones is, give me just a second, 3rd, 4th in the batting order? 3rd in the batting order.
Yeah. Bowser Jr. now. Again, strong pitcher. Takes a foul from Baby Mario. Next hit will get hit to shortstop for a good catch, and Baby Mario is out. Pink Yoshi now. Up to bat. Watches the first one fly directly over the middle of the plate. Second pitch is another paintball from Bowser Jr. Contact once again goes straight to shortstop for another out. Baby Daisy now. Last batter in the order. For the eggs. Will she be the last batter for the inning, as again, first pitch goes straight over the middle. A charged shot knocks it out to the outfield, but Koopa and Dry Bones in position to make that buddy catch.
Not the kind of power hit you'd normally expect from Baby Daisy. But she's showing that despite using a rattle for a bat, she's not playing around.
That's 3 up, 3 out. And the Muscles have got to be happy with that inning, as they keep the eggs scoreless for the first time since the start of our game. The eggs back on defense now. Birdo having a stellar showing. Will force Luigi to watch the first one. Second one. Suction
Probably gonna
ball.
be an easy strike. Everyone loves to swing at that one early, just like with Bowser's.
Luigi finally makes contact on the third pitch. Ball barely dances over that redirection arrow that would have turned that into a double. And Daisy now wants to bring her man success and wants to hit this ball into the outfield. Will be stopped at second base by Blue Critter for another double play.
And those double plays have been hitting them so hard this game. I don't think Birdo's shown any signs of tiring.
We're gonna have to start a count or something on the number of double plays that result from Blue Critter playing that second base position so well. We'll have to interview him after the game, as the Flowers not quite 3 up, 3 out with a base hit. I won't count that, but they are still kept scoreless.
Monarchs and Wilds are hoping that the Flowers can just at least keep it to only a 6-point game. The Eggs, of course, already shown that they're not gonna let that just slide.
As Yoshi slides into first base. Birdo now. Will she have the discipline to knock that Bowser Jr. run? She will, but it'll be an easy pop fly that keeps Yoshi at first. Brown Critter now. The K-Rule core. Up
With
to
the
bat.
runner on,
Hesitation for Magic Koopa still lets Yoshi get to second there. As 2 outs, Yoshi on second. K-Rule needs to make something happen here. Again, the Eggs need every single run they can get, even with a 6-run lead. Solid hit up to center field. Just a little bit too solid, though, will result in a catch by Koopa the Quick. And once again, the Eggs are scoreless.
haven't been able to make much happen this game. But can you blame them with the defense they're up against? Hoping to turn it around, hoping to take Birdo off the plate, or really, are they? What's after that for them? Yoshi? That's worse.
Yoshi is a better pitcher than Birdo, I think. Or maybe
Exactly.
the same.
Which is worse for the Flowers. They want Birdo to stay on, but Birdo's been tearing them to pieces.
Still, a good shot from Red Koopa results in a double, and Dark Bones knocks it straight up the middle for a runner on first, runner on third, and for the first time since the first inning, the Shell Core marches on.
This is the
Koopa,
kind of play that Flowers fans want to be seeing from them. This is the kind of play they know they can have. Another double play off of the second base fielding from that Blue Critter. Not able to stop a point from running in, but turns no outs runners on the corners to 1.2 outs.
I don't think any other second baseman in the league would have been able to make that play. That is wild.
I don't think Funky Kong would have done it.
Wild athleticism from Blue Critter.
Looking for that Defensive Player of the Tournament award.
The inning ends 1-1 for the Flowers. Hey, doing what the Eggs could not the last 2 innings. The Eggs need to get past Bowser Jr. as he proves that he is an amazing pitcher for the Flowers. He throws one high to Blue Critter, who makes good contact, but again, Koopa and Drybones with the synergy should... No, Drybones hesitates! Still makes the
But
catch!
not long enough. Blue Critter does not have the batting prestige that the brown and red critters do. But the defensive plays this game have been showing why he's still such a contender in the league, why he's such a key player for the Eggs.
The Eggs need to make it to 10 runs and keep the Flowers scoreless. They need to make it to 11 runs, excuse me, in order to guarantee their spot in the finals. But Bowser Jr., right when he needs them, right when the Monarchs and the Wilds need him to, is shutting down this batting order as again a scoreless inning from the Eggs.
Managed to navigate through the strongest part of their lineup, managed to navigate through that inning. Flowers could still turn this around. They're set to have a rough time of it, but they haven't scored their usual 5 yet. So who knows what they're still capable of.
Birdo navigates a good high hit to Baby Peach in the right field from the Flowers for the first out. Luigi down. Needs to get on base.
Birdo looking to pitch a complete game here. I want to point out, we're in the 8th. That's the second out of the 8th. Birdo's got to sit 4 more batters down, and that's a complete game.
Even if Birdo... Oh my god, 3 up, 3 out for Birdo. Honestly, though, it's going to be a hard pick for MVP. Blue Critter has played that second base position perfectly this game. Just absolutely perfectly. We never look at second base and we're like, you're the best defensive player on this team. But he's making a statement. As again, the Eggs are up to bat. They're in a weaker part of the batting order. They need something this inning still as they knock a ball over the head of Darkbones into that outfield for Pink Yoshi to get on base. Baby Daisy now needs to follow up that success to get back to the top of the batting order. She'll watch the first one. Paintball from Bowser Jr. Will Baby Daisy have a fine time of it anyway with a grounder up the middle? And Booze confuse the fielders. Pink Yoshi's almost goes home but stays at third.
Probably a smart decision. I don't know if Pink Yoshi had the speed to make it.
A runner on second, a runner on third, a double play as Yoshi knocks it into Darkbones. And the Eggs are still in trouble. From a dominating position to a desperate one. Not for this game, but for the tournament. Pink Yoshi is on that third base. Birdo, this amazing pitcher for this game, still needs to make something happen. She's 2 strikes. If she could just get on base. Good hit up the middle.
It's up the middle, which is where you need it to be. She'll make it to base. That makes it a 6-run lead. Bowser Jr. starting to tire, finishing to tire, retiring. And we've got Luigi on base now.
Now, Luigi should be a fine pitcher to close this game, but Brown Critter still wants to do as much damage as possible as a solid hit to the outfield. A single that brings Birdo from first to third. There's still 2 outs on this inning as K-Rool steps to the plate. A home run guarantees his team a spot in the finals. He'll hit it high. He'll hit it to the right field. Dry Bones and Koopa scramble. The water from the sewer
interrupts it. 3-run home run.
The Eggs are in the finals.
We don't know that for sure. The Flowers can still make up some of that lead.
True, yes, true, fine. Yes, if the Flowers score next inning. But for the purposes of poetics, what a hell of a shot from K-Rool.
It's the kind of shot a game should have ended on, but we've still got at least half an inning to play. Blue Critter is going to make sure that there's a little extra space, preventing them from being taken out of the finals.
We are now up to a 2-12 scoreline. Now, it's a blessing for the Eggs. I want to note this down as Baby Peach comes up to Platt and watches the first ball fly. Normally, what would happen? Baby Peach is out. Normally, what would happen, since the Eggs are the bottom of the order, and since the Flowers are up next, the Flowers don't need to stop the Eggs from scoring anymore. They just need to score 4 runs. Sorry, doing my math. 2 runs to knock the Eggs out of guaranteed contention, because the Eggs will not get to bat again if the Flowers don't take the lead. All the Flowers need is 2 runs.
Does Birdo have the complete game, and are they willing to stake their league chances on it? Baby Daisy says yes.
What an amazing performance from Birdo after a little bit of dissing earlier this game. And Darkbones hits it to that key second baseman, Blue Critter.
And that secures the defense from Baby Daisy and Blue Critter from the second base and shortstop, not respectively, I had those reversed, is going to secure the Eggs a berth in the finals. Whether they are first seed against the Monarchs, first seed against the Wilds, or second seed against the Wilds, now comes down to our final non-championship game of the evening.
Sorry. Writing down the score before we see the MVP of the. In my heart, the MVP is Blue Critter, but the real MVP of this game, according to the stats, is Blue Critter. With that amazing showing at second base.
And you know MVP voting tends to favor the batters. So this is an amazing showing for Blue Critter to actually make it to that MVP slot. 130 on the box score. 80 of it was from batting, but that 40 from fielding is what secured it over the likes of King K. Rool or even Birdo, who had the better batting score than King K. Rool this game.
Maybe a little bit of a crime that Birdo pitched a complete game, kept the... I'm so sorry, I'm having so much trouble with this. Birdo pitched a complete game. Does not get any points from it in MVP consideration.
The MVP voting so underrates pitching. So underrates pitching. It was a beautiful performance from Birdo, and she should be proud of pitching a game like that.
Alright. Our last game of the tournament, as the Wilds are up against the Muscles in Mario Stadium. Now, all the Wilds need in order to make it to the finals is to win by 7 or more runs. They fell against the Monarchs last week, so in the tiebreaker, the Monarchs have it. So the Wilds need to win by at least 7 runs to make it to our finals.
Now, the Muscle might be the team for them to do it. Wilds are known to like big scoring games, and the Muscle have had some issues in their outfield. Mario Stadium, possibly like the most even stadium to put these two teams on.
I think
very standard, no gimmicks. We're not going to be seeing redirection arrows. We're not going to be seeing flaming barrels and earthquakes. We're not going to be seeing those very shallow out of bounds or out of the park lines from Daisy Cruiser. This is a standard baseball field.
Now, still, I think I expect this field to still favor the Wilds, because Mario Stadium, and this might just be the feeling I got from the game earlier, seems to have a slightly tighter outfield compared to some of the stadiums in our rotation. And if that's true, solid hits against this relatively weaker Muscles outfield should result in good points for the Wilds. Now officially the only team to beat our other finalists of the eggs. We're verifying now. It looks like all the players are set up in this outfield, or on the field. I'm getting last confirmation now that everyone is in their proper place. And I believe with that, we're ready to get this game started. The Muscles versus the Wilds on Mario Stadium to decide the last finalist of this tournament. As long as we don't have... We've gone so far without any player protest. We'll see if we can get to the end.
Wilds taking the field as the Muscle are first up at bat. Toadsworth squaring off against Boomerang Bro. I'm getting all of my bros mixed up today.
Well, Boomerang Bow at least starting this game off well for the Muscles with a single from a hit out to right field. Now Boo at the plate. Wants to get a solid hit here to really start this Muscles game off strong. Just goes barely foul outside the third baseline. Next pitch goes straight over the inning, and we have straight over the plate, and we have a strikeout from Toadsworth on Boo. The captain of Wario now.
First strikeout of the tournament. Now up against Wario. Wario with a hit to deep left field is gonna get another single, putting 2 on base.
We have not seen as much batting power from King Boo as we expect. But that trend will continue, actually, as he hits it directly to Dixie Kong. Tiny Kong in the outfield and right field. For a good catch. Runner on first still, runner on second. Shy Guy up to plate. Not a lot of power behind that bat, maybe, but... yeah, not a lot of power behind that bat. As he hits it.
Power to get a run.
Yeah, grounder to shortstop stops a promising Muscles position as their first batting order of the game ends with 0 points. Now it's up to them to stop the Wilds, who again need to win this game by 7 points. The captain DK does not start off strong as he hits it directly to Wario in left field.
A rare uncharged hit from DK. Funky Kong's not going to do the same. He's just not going to hit at all.
He'll take a
Actually,
ball.
this time he will. And it's possibly going right out of the park. Funky Kong loves to hit those home runs. He loves to send it all the way out of the field. And that's what we're seeing today.
That's a solid first of 7 as the Wilds take the lead in the bottom of the first. Purple Toad, still only 1 out on this inning, will hit it foul just barely.
Just barely over the foul line on what could have otherwise been a beautiful hit. Instead, going to do a weak grounder to shortstop, and that's always going to result in that first base unless you get a forced error. Blue Pianta coming up.
And the Muscles stop the bats of the Wilds at 1 in the first inning. As again, Boomerang Bro, that key shortstop position, cuts off the bat of Blue Pianta. Waluigi now.
Hits coming out, uncharacteristic, uncharged hits coming out from the Wilds this game. That's just warming up a bit, I guess. Another hit right out to shortstop. A little bit of a dive from the Blue Pianta, but he grabs it, does his little victory dance. He's happy to get the first out of the inning.
I feel like maybe stronger dress codes will be needed next season, but a good catch from Dixie Kong in right field results in the second out of the inning. Blooper up to plate. Key relief pitcher last game. Can he get the bat started for the Muscles this game? Watches 2, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Doesn't swing at it, as the ball goes wide and outside.
Now will slap a lob for an easy out as that ball flies right into Pianta's glove at shortstop. Muscles kept scoreless.
Toadsworth likes to mix in that ephus pitch, not one you see often from Major League pitchers. Catches them off guard and lets them get those weak hits right out to the shortstop, Pianta. A little bit of a weaker part from the Wild's batting lineup right now. Toadsworth looking to make contact, but it goes straight out to that second baseman. Another good defensive performance from a Critter. Hoping to maybe make himself ready for MVP consideration.
In the meantime, though, first and foremost, Boo needs to get Dixie Kong out, but she'll get a solid ball out to the middle of left field, not caught by Wario, for a single as Baby DK comes up to the plate.
Really good positioning on that hit. Went right in the weak spot of the Muscles defense and allowed her to use her good speed. I don't know if other batters would have made that. Strikeout from Baby DK. Watched 3 looking.
Oh my god. I think he was looking at his phone. This generation, I swear to God. As Dixie Kong caught out by Hammerbow at shortstop for a scoreless inning from both teams as we head into the third, still at 0-1 favoring the Wilds. Red Critter comes up to bat.
Wilds need to not only win but score, so they're not too happy with the way this game's going so far.
I'm sure the Monarchs are watching with delight, though. Maybe not delight at this. Need a buddy jump here from the Cousins, and they'll get it as Red Critter hits a ball out to deep right field, but a good defensive play stops a run from the Muscles. We're at 1 out in the inning as those Cousins are loving it. Out of the, I think they were in left field there. That's weird. Whatever. Hammerbow watches the first one. Or sorry, Boomerang Bow, excuse me. A lob from Toadsworth will result in contact. That goes out to right field, and Tiny Kong caught lacking. Runner on first as Boo comes up to the plate with 1 out. Charges up, but watches the first ball soar over, glide over the plate, if we're being honest.
Toadsworth doesn't really make much soar.
Not quite. Makes it more so.
Maybe his joints these days.
His pitches are best attributed to a lazy river as Wario needs to shine for his team. Runner on first, runner on second, 1 out. First pitch, hit into right field.
DK's unable to make it. Bro's looking to go home, and he's gonna make it.
That's an RBI from Wario as the runner on first and second make it to third and home. On a single from Wario, the game is now tied at 1-1. Wario showing up I know that's supposed to be a W as he sticks up his 3 fingers, but I think there's a solid chance that might have just been him being a little bit forgetful and thinking he scored 3.
The weak spot in the Wild's defense. It's that part of right field. 2 hits out there, 2 RBI singles, no outs. And suddenly, the Wilds are in a very rough spot. Toadsworth's starting to tire. It's only the 3rd inning. This is his weakness. He's got no stamina.
We're back where we were 2 bats ago. Runner on first, runner on second. Still only 1 out. Start pitch from Toadsworth to Shy Guy. Hit. But caught by Pianta to end the inning on a clean double play.
Pianta to Funky Kong. Very classic defensive play from the Wilds, getting them out of that jam. Now they have to start making up the ground they just gave and more if they want to stay in this tournament. Diddy Kong looking to make it happen. Deep hit. That's going to be just barely an out right into the glove of the Red Toad.
DK now up. Has to show off for his family and will do so by hitting it deep into the middle field. Not deep enough, though. Boo proving himself as a stellar pitcher as 2 up, 2 deep balls, 2 caught balls, 2 outs.
Some questionable item play by the Wilds, refusing to use the items until the ball is practically already in the hands of the waiting fielder.
Finally, some progress as Funky Kong hits a single. Purple Toad up to bat. He hit a home run earlier today, but with 2 outs, there's no room for error in this inning. Knocks it up to center field for a safe single.
Purple Toad to first.
Now we're at where we were last inning, but with a little bit more danger. Runner at the top of the inning, excuse me. Runner on first, runner on second. Ball hit to center field. We have bases loaded.
Bases loaded, but the batter that's up is Toadsworth. Unfortunately, this was the worst time to have bases loaded and 2 outs because you've got Toadsworth and Dixie. Toadsworth did have a good batting performance in his first game, but that was against the Flowers. Waluigi doesn't need synergy in order to catch that ball, and suddenly the Wilds are back off the plate.
Now, we'll start this inning with DK coming to the mound to replace Toadsworth. Placing Toadsworth on first base. and pitches Blessing as a solid defensive play from Blue Beyonce catches a high ball that was supposed to fly right over the shortstop position but ends up in the glove. Red Toad knocks it out to center field for a single. Again, as a reminder, the Wilds, they need to win this game by 7?
7. Right now they're down by 1. That double play is going to keep it from getting worse, though. Turns a base hit into a 3-up, 3-down.
The Muscles. Scoreless at the top of the 4th. As we go into the bottom of the 4th, we're stuck in the back dredges of the Wild's batting order. As Dixie Kong, up to bat, charges up, hits it deep to center. Chance for something here, but synergy in the outfield. Wario and Waluigi make the catch to stop any sort of comeback from starting. So far,
Wild's really looking just to try and exhaust Boo. The historic second pitcher for the Muscle is Wario, and that destroys what synergy there is in the outfield. Hammer or boomerang throw with that catch. Very iconic catch for the Bro family. He's gonna do it again.
and that's a scoreless inning for the Wilds as we head into the 5th inning, and against all expectations, the Muscles have a 2-1 lead, making the Wilds have to get up to 9 runs in this game to make it to the finals.
Something the Wilds are very capable of, but they're not showing it right now.
Red Critter knocks the ball out to left field for a single. Boomerang Bro, dangerous bat up against DK, but will hit it straight to Funky Kong for an easy double play to clear the bases for the Wilds. We're up to Boo at bat. 2 outs. Watches the first one. Slaps the second straight up the middle for a clean single.
It's gonna bring Wario up to bat. Definitely the possibility of a power hit here.
But not a lot of execution from Wario over this tournament. As he hits it, he'll get a single. Doesn't hit it deep
Bring
enough.
Boo up.
Again, King Boo, someone whose bat we expected to really shine in this tournament, charges up, hits it to center field, but this one is too deep. And whereas Wario managed to thread that needle, King Boo throws a brick at it, and the Muscles are kept scoreless again. This is still a 2-1 game.
Muscles hoping to play spoiler here.
They're doing a great job of it. As Diddy Kong at the bat watches the first one fly. Misses the second one. Too short on that one. A lob results in a slap hit. An amazing catch from Red Critter on that second base position. Inspired by his cousin earlier today, I have to assume. Red Critter's playing much better than he did the first game. And Donkey Kong is up with 1 out. He'll charge up a solid hit to left field, though, and that should be out of here. It is.
Tying up the game, Donkey Kong hoping to keep his team's chances at the finals alive. They're gonna need another 8 runs. No, another 8 runs. No, 7 runs. They're gonna need another 7 runs on top of that one. But Boo is starting to tire, and here comes Funky Kong surfing on up the plate, slapping it right out to deep right field, looking to go over the wall. Yes, it does for back-to-back home runs, putting them up 1 point again.
And the Wilds finally coming alive in the middle of this game. They'll take the lead. But it's only a slim lead, as it's 2-3, 1 out still in the inning, and Boo is finally coming off the mound as Wario steps into that pivotal position. The name of the game here for Wario is weak contact. Any damage to the outfield is sure to be fatal. As Purple Toad hits the second pitch to Waluigi.
To the outfield. the Wild's definitely happy that it's Wario that came up to the plate. Blooper probably would have been the better choice. Had a great showing in that game against the Monarchs. Pianta not going to swing at that W pitch. Wario will take a strike off it. But is going to slap that one. Ooh, and an excellent catch from that red critter turns it to a double play.
Wario already showing a little bit of frustration. Where's the stamina on the captain of this team? We're at 2-3. Top of the 6th, Shy Guy watches the first strike from DK on the mound. The Muscles need to get some runs in if they want to have a chance at winning this game, as the deeper this game goes, the more alive we expect the Wild's bats to become. Shy Guy will at least start with a single as Waluigi comes up to bat. Barrel pitch from DK needs to show some discipline here, and he does from Waluigi, letting the strike fly.
A beautiful catch and throw by the blue Pianta to get that double play. They're hoping for a quick inning here, the Wilds. Just want to be able to get back at that bat. I'm going to make a bit of a prediction here. I don't think we're going to be... I think we've really got to wait until the last 3 innings to know which direction this game's going to go. I don't know if there's going to be any sort of explosive leads until inning 7 or 8.
I'll take that action. As the Muscles, with 2 clean singles up the middle, result in Toad on second, Blooper on first, Red Critter, dangerous batter up to plate against DK, who's got full star pitches, doesn't use it on the first one. Red Critter lets it fly. Star pitch on the second one to Red Critter. Results in a slap hit.
For a weak hit and an easy out at first.
That crocodile instinct, not letting the pitch fly. Again, that star pitch from DK, so lethal. With 2-3 at the bottom of the 6th inning as Toadsworth comes up to bat for the Wilds.
Looks at a strike. 0-1 pitch. Swings at a strike. 0-2 pitch. And it's a W pitch. Wario's just one in the strikeout. But Toadsworth finds it. Red Critter doesn't. And Red Toad makes the decision to throw to second. Could have had a potential out at first. Doesn't take it. And Toadsworth gets a base hit. Red Critter missing the catch at second, allowing Toadsworth to advance and Dixie Kong to make it to first. Here comes Baby DK. No outs, 2 on. Wario pitches, another hit. This one, Waluigi will catch and get a double play. Toadsworth ran just a bit too far from that second base. Suddenly, a lot of the damage that the Wilds could have done is mitigated by that one bad play. Tiny Kong, determined to keep her team's chances in this inning alive, will bring Dixie Kong up to bat with a single. Or not Dixie, Diddy. Diddy going for the charge hit, out to the outfield, bases loaded. Here comes Donkey Kong. I might have been very, very wrong, Willie.
Dangerous position for Wario. Needs to get... I mean, a strikeout would be a miracle. Weak contact would also be good, but instead, this one is deep out to center field. 2 batters past the plate almost before the grand slam is knocked out of the park. And that is the lead that the Wilds need against the Muscles.
That'll put them up 7-2. They need to find 2 more runs and hold that lead in order to make it to the finals. They obviously want to put on even more damage than that, because that'll put them at first seed going into it. I don't think seeding matters, but it will.
Was that back-to-back home runs from the captain Donkey Kong?
I think it was, Willie.
Purple Toad knocks it to second base, and that ends the inning for the Wilds. As we go into the last third of this game, it's up to you whether or not you want to take credit for your prediction being right. Because at the top of the 7th, as the Muscles come up to bat, they're down by a score of 2-7. Boomerang Bro watches the first but hits the second one deep to right. That should be foul.
That will be foul, just barely. Boomerang Bro going for it again, hits it out to the second baseman, who will toss it over to first baseman Toadsworth for an easy out.
Boo this time. Again hits it to second base as Funky Kong makes a nice slide to catch the ball. 2 outs now, no run is on base. As Wario comes up to the plate. DK, full star power. Wario only watches the first one. This is when DK tends to like to use a star, but doesn't yet. Instead, it's Wario who knocks a bomb out to center field.
It blows, Dixie catches it, he gets a single off it, keeping his team in the inning. Here's King Boo, potentially devastating bat, but just like the potential man meme, we haven't really seen it this turn.
No, that ghost has stayed dead for a long time as a grounder to shortstop results in the end of the inning for the Muscles bats. The Wilds need to score 2 more runs as they enter the bottom of the 7th with a 2-7 lead over the Muscles. Wario, determined to limit the damage, his W pitch results in a strike against Blue Pianta. His next pitch, normal, straight down the middle.
Boomerang Bro jumps for it early, misses it. The Boo usage makes him lose it entirely, and suddenly what could have been an easy out turns into a double, putting Pianta on second. And that's bad for them. They really wanted that out. They wanted Pianta out because it would mean they only need to get out Toadsworth and Dixie Kong. Toadsworth gets out with a can of corn right out the second. Wario starting to tire. We may see Blooper brought in.
No, Waluigi, I believe, is the next that the Muscles will probably put on the mound. Dixie Kong, though.
We'll have to see. Another Boo usage, securing a good single from Dixie Kong, might have otherwise been fielded by the Red Critter. But suddenly, those 3 outs they really wanted are only 1 out and 2 people on base. Strong hit by Baby DK. Waluigi does catch it in time. Blue Pianta's going for home. Does score just before the double play brings him to a change sides.
Only 1 run on the Wilds. They need 1 more run net in the last 2 innings as Shy Guy comes to the plate for the Muscles at the top of the 8th. Watches the first one from DK. DK, full star power. Lots of ability to do damage on this mound as not showing that much signs of slowing down as Shy Guy hits it just about to the mid of center right field for a double. The speed on this little man, I would not have expected that to be a double, but he's put in scoring position as Waluigi has to show some discipline against a barrel pitch, still hits it.
Doesn't show it. That's an out at first. Opted not to try for a third to first double play. Understandable. That's how you give it up, though.
It would not have been.
I was already running back to second.
Yeah.
Another barrel pitch. Red Toad not showing any discipline. He's out at first.
And DK giving 0 room as 3 barrel pitches in a row. All 3 batters take the bait, and all 3 plays are looking just about the same as all 3 are thrown out at first for the Muscles to result in 0 points in 5 innings. At the bottom of the 8th, though, Wario taken off the mound for Waluigi. Pitcher's blessing needed to try to keep the Wilds scoreless. They're in a relatively weak section of their batting order, but Dixie can still make something happen, and she will with a good single from a hit out to shallow left. Diddy Kong up to bat now. If he can get on base safely, and he does with a hit out to shallow right.
Here comes Donkey Kong. He had back-to-back home runs. Kinda wants to make them back-to-back-to-back. Doesn't take that swing. Last one was a grand slam. Does he want a 3-run? He wants it. Does he get it? Boo's looking like he can catch it, but he can't. 3-run home run from Donkey Kong. That will put the Wilds in tournament contention if the Muscle are unable to score any more points.
Will also undoubtedly secure Donkey Kong as the MVP for this game.
A home run, followed by a grand slam, followed by a 3-run home run. Nobody on the muscles.
If Donkey Kong can get a 2-run home run before the end of this game, he'll have bat the rounds of home runs. A solo, a double, a triple, and a grand slam. All he's missing is the double. Funky Kong gets a single.
On Funky Kong on base with no outs, Waluigi tests the waters with throw to first to try to catch him lacking. Purple Toad lacking a little bit as he watches the first one sail over the middle of the plate. Swings at the second for a good hit to center, just shallow enough that it's not catchable by Wario. And we've got runners on first and second with 0 outs as Blue Pianta comes up to the plate. Good contact, sent it to right field, caught by Toad. Funky Kong running home, no, stops and changes his mind as Blue Pianta's actually caught at first base by amazing athleticism from Toad and the first baseman.
Shallow hit from Toad's where it's going to lead to a double play as the purple Toad steps just a bit too far off the bag, leaves himself vulnerable to that throw out.
Now, we're in a similar position to last game. The Muscles are down 9. If they score 3 runs, the Wilds will not get a chance at the bat. In order to secure the tournament finals, Red Critter facing down DK. Now,
shallow hit missed by the Blue Pianta. He's gonna let him get to first.
Runner on first. Hammer Bro up.
Boomerang Bro.
Sorry, Boomerang Bro up.
Looks at one.
A
incoming barrel pitch. Not a surprise to see here. Boomerang Bro still wants it. Actually makes solid contact, but some indecisiveness by the Red Critter gets him out at second. Donkey Kong starting to flag. Will we see a pitcher change? Or are they betting it all on his barrel pitches still? Nice hit by the Boo will allow Boomerang Bro to advance to second. Boo goes on at first.
A home run from Wario seals the fate of the Wilds, but he won't get it. He'll knock it out to Blue Pianta at shortstop for a double play for a 2-11 win by the Wilds, which, and we'll double check the math, should be enough to secure them a position in the finals.
I do believe it will. That is an extra 9 runs added to their run differential. That will put them at 25, putting them not only above the Monarchs, but above the Eggs. That will secure them first place going into the championship. Well-earned MVP by Donkey Kong, put 8 of those runs on the board himself.
And he'll be tested, as we are conferring now with the Commissioner of the Wilds, if we should just roll straight over into this finals between the Eggs and the Wilds for the tournament.
Getting word back, I think we should, Willie. I think we should.
Now, we have had 4 stadiums up for this tournament. For the finals, it will be a best of 3, where each team will pick one field, and the last field will be randomly selected from the remaining 2 fields. We're going to double check now, make sure all the standings are perfectly in order, as we have 3 teams end with a 3-1 record. The Muscles end the season with a 1-3 record and a -14, and the Flowers end this tournament 0-4. We're running through all the math. An incredibly close finish on run differentials. If our original math is correct, then our top 3 teams are the Wilds 3-1, 26 run differential, the Eggs 3-1, 24 run differential, and the Monarchs 3-1 with a 22 run differential. We're double checking the numbers just to make sure that everything here is good. I think that the eggs run. Wait, are the eggs in the finals? The eggs might not be in the finals.
Should be the eggs in the finals. Eggs have 3-1 record, 24 run differential, and a win over the Monarchs.
I'm double checking their run differential. That might be incorrectly calculated. Hang on. +5, +9 is 14. +10 is 24. -3 is 21.
Oh my god, they're not in.
We'll continue to double check here. The Wilds, +14, +13, +16, +9 is 25 run differential.
Ah, we've had some miscounts.
And then the Monarchs, -5, -4, +11, +22. I think our finals is the Wilds versus the Monarchs.
Shows.
Oh, hello.
Hello! I clicked accidentally. I will be back momentarily.
Okay. Let's run these numbers one more time, because if this is the case, we will not be ready for the finals tonight. What a close...
That is understandable.
If these newly calculated numbers are right, our final standings are the Wilds 3-1 with a +25, the Monarchs 3-1 with a +22.
Return.
Hi, 1 second. And the Eggs 3-1 with a +21, leaving the Eggs, who started this tournament 2-0, out of the finals by 1 in the in the run differential. Now, this is where the tiebreaker kind of gets a little bit shady, because originally I think even though I think that by the rules that I set, even though the Monarchs have the head-to-head, since it's a 3-way tie, it goes to run differential, which I admit is hard to grok in my brain, but I'm totally okay with it.
Because each team only played one game against each other, it's hard to say in terms of head-to-head. Like, literally, we have a situation where the 3-1 teams all beat each other. Eggs beat the Monarchs, beat the Wilds, beat the Eggs.
So I think we go to run differential here, and I think that puts the Monarchs in the finals. Let me run this one more time, just to make absolutely certain, because fuck, I'm gonna do it. +5, 5 + 9 is 14, +10 is 24, -3 is 21. Yeah, and by beating our finals, the Wilds versus the Monarchs for the Winter CPU Classic, we'll have that game to you either tomorrow or next week. I'm not really sure. As the showdown happens between these two titans, and the Eggs, despite their strong showing, barely fall out of contention. Well, we're going to end the commentary tonight, and we will see you next time for the finals of the CPU Classic. I'm calling it here. Double checking. I don't know if a raid is in the cards because I wasn't paying attention. I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna sign off here. I'm Willie Bo Billy.
And I'm Silva Lily.
And I'm the dumbass that's apparently dating you.
Thank you for showing up in the commentary just to say that right at the end. Goodbye, everybody!
Good night, everyone.
Good night.